introduction, and to save time, I don't think I need to go back to that. We are looking at the Asian food mandates, and I already defined what a mandate is for us, and I also defined what we mean by Asian food mandates. I said mandates are instructions, and I was saying that any products or equipment that is made by a manufacturer would always come with a manual on how it should be used. So when God made man, God also gave a manual. So I don't think that because man has been on earth for over 6,000 years, that in a way has now made that manual to be, trashed, that, you are just living without manual. I don't think so. Up until now, everything we are doing in the world, there are in education now we have curriculum. There's really nothing we are doing in the world that does not have a kind of document that controls it. And from time to time in education now, they change the name of courses, they change the curriculum of the course and all that. So what makes us feel when it comes to management of the body, we can do it anyhow, or we can just maybe be positive minded. You tell some people, you tell them this thing is not right, they will say, well, God will have mercy, God will sure help us. You cannot say God will have mercy to write your exams without reading, without going to class. You just say God will have mercy, you say God will help us. You know that it is what you put that you will harvest. And the other time I was talking about a principle that controls everything that we do. That seed time and harvest, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will not cease. So seed time and harvest will not cease means whatsoever you put, you invest, is what you reap. So if we do not, those who, the only plan that they have for future, the only plan is a financial plan. When they get to that future, they will have a lot of money in their bank account. If they've never made any plan on their health, they will also harvest it. Maybe the money that they store up for the future, they will now use that money to be servicing their body. So it doesn't seem to me, it doesn't seem like a correct mindset for a man to just be having plan for a particular aspect of his life and leave the other. If the body is not healthy and body, what can a man do? What can a man do? If a man acquires a lot of knowledge, and a lot of money and all that, what will that person use that knowledge to do, or use that finance to do, if the body? So we live at a time that sometimes you see people's attitude. Sometimes when you have a workshop and you are like, okay, let everybody that will participate in this workshop, let them show commitment by registering for the workshop and paying for the workshop. Especially when you need to bring, maybe you have some other resource persons that you are bringing from outside, and you can't bring them without giving them honorarium. So sometimes you say, okay, let people register for the workshop and pay. Then you see the way people shrink. It's like, I don't have money, I don't have money. And in real sense, it's not because they don't have money. But then at another time, you are like, okay, to face out the issue of I don't have money, let's make it free. And then you will still see the same attitude displayed. So that will let you know that, okay, this issue is not actually issue about money. It's an issue of attitude. It's an issue that makes people feel that they don't pay so much attention on their body. And that they feel that my body does not need to be controlled by principles, as it were. It's just, some people just see health as luck. If you are lucky, if you are lucky, it's just luck. It's like, that man, there's nothing he does not hit, but he's still. And as I said, that how many of such men do we see in the world today? That they are 90, but they lived anyhow. They ate anything, they drank anything. How many? And those who lived anyhow and drank anything, at the time they were living, how did they live? Was their body still showing perfect health? So I believe that there will be a lot of things we need to look at today, and because of time, I will just have to go straight into them. So the first instruction that we found that God gave to man when he made man, let me read it, and it's already on the slide. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree, yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So this is part of the instructions that God gave to man when God made man. Genesis 1:29. And the summary is under that. Original foods were herbs or plants with seeds and trees with fruits. Now, that is not to say, are you trying to tell us that we should only live on herbs? That is not what I am saying. But for us to totally take our mind away from it and say the world has evolved, we will be doing ourselves. It means that even if other things are added, and I'm going to talk about those things that we are permitted to still add, if other things are added to our diet, it shouldn't be that we walk away totally from this and you only just feed your body with cooked food 3 times a day or 2 times a day for the whole month, for the whole year. So let's go to the next slide. And by way of explaining that first mandate that we can see, I want to make reference to what we call the Daniel diet. The Daniel diet content. Let's look at that diet content and impact on body. Daniel 1:5, and the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. So it wasn't at the end of 10 days as it were. It was at the end of, they were to feed on that diet for 3 years, and it was after 3 years they are supposed to appear before the king. So it means when Daniel and those other brothers appeared before the king, it was at the end of 3 years. Let's keep reading. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Verse 12, prove your servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. So what the Daniel diet, the content of it is pulse and water. And we're going to look at what pulse mean. Pulse and water. 15. And at the end of 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children who did eat the portion of the king's meat. So this was when that servant came to check them. It was at the end of 10 days that the servant came to check them. But it was at the end of 3 years that they appeared before the king. So it means what that diet did for their body wasn't just something temporal. It wasn't just temporal. Before the servant could leave them on that diet, he came back to check them 10 days after, and he saw that they were looking, more healthy as it were than others. Then he left them on that diet. Let's see what pulse mean. Meaning of pulse. The original Hebrew word zeroim literally means things grown from seed. So pulse means things grown from seed. That includes any plant-based food, specifically legumes, and we can see the different, beans, chickpeas, peas, lentils, and all that. It also means grains and seeds. Grains, seeds, wheat, barley, millet, and others. Then it also involves vegetables and fruits. So the pulse that Daniel and those other brothers requested for, it wasn't just give us cabbage to eat. Beans, chickpeas, peas, wheat, barley, millet, fruits, vegetables, different things that is in relation to that first mandate that we looked at. Okay, let's proceed further. Let's look at a second mandate. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given all things. Genesis 9:3. So here you can see that God added meat to herbs, just as I have given you green herb. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you. But however, he did not just say any animal, because he came again to be telling them the things they should eat and the things they should not eat. But he told them that I have also added meats. Because today in the world we have so many um perspectives, as it were. Some people shun to hear anything about health because they have a mindset that says, these people will just tell you that you should just be eating vegetable alone, and how can you eat vegetable alone? So we are not looking at it from that angle, that just eat vegetable alone. Of course, some people, part of um um perspectives, I don't know if I can put it that way, that we find if you pick up some books on, maybe even written by some medical doctors, but that have really moved more into healthy living and diet, they will tell you that you should walk away from animal products, as it were, animal products. But we are just trying to look at it in an holistic manner. So this also is a mandate that we can find that God gave to man. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you, even as a green herb have I given you all things. Genesis 9:1, 9:3. So here meat was added, but we are still going to look at it. Now let's look at, he said every moving thing. He did not say every caged thing. Every moving thing, then that lives, that is alive. So I have given you this just as I have given you green herb. Now let's look at a few other places where some other instructions came on food. We have Leviticus 11:3. Whatsoever parts the hoof and is cloven footed and chews the cord among the beasts. Beast means animals. That shall you eat. So he told them what not to eat, even among animals. So there are some meats that are healthy, there are some meats that are not healthy. Then next to that, Deuteronomy 14:4-5. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, the goats. And in bracket we can see deer, antelope, the hart, the roebuck, the fallow deer, the wild goat, the pigard, the wild ox, the chamois. All these animals that were mentioned, most of them are free-range animals. They are not animals that acquire so much fat and all of that. Then let's see another one again, Deuteronomy 14:11. Of all clean birds, chicken is bird. Hope you know. So you will not think, are we supposed to be catching birds as they are flying? Chicken is bird, all those, they are fowls. Of all clean birds, you shall eat, in bracket, plant-eating birds are lower in toxins and less likely to carry disease from hosts, not predators or scavengers. So there are some birds that feed on dead things, they don't feed on herbs and all that. So although the instruction he gave them in this place is that you can eat from birds, but the birds you should eat from are birds that are in the category of clean birds that are not predators, birds that are not scavengers. Then the last on this slide, Leviticus 11:9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. That's where fish comes in. Whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall you eat. Then you can also find that in Deuteronomy 14:9. So we can see he gave them permission to eat meat, but he gave them a kind of it's not as if they are just to eat anything called meat. He gave them some restrictions on how far they should explore eating of meat. And there are some meats he told them not to eat. Then he gave them a prescription also for birds that they should eat. Then he gave them prescription also for the things in the water that they should eat. This shall ye eat of all that is in the waters. He said, whatsoever has fins and scales. So by research, if you go into fishes that don't have scales, you will read a lot of things about them that they may not be too healthy. Some are fatty, some can easily infect, so there's so many thoughts about that. You can do a little research on that. I'm just trying to say that one way or the other, we cannot completely move away, completely move away from the things that are like foundation for what our feeding should look like. We can't completely move away. And if everything is right with the decisions we are making, the choices we are making about feeding these days, then we are not going to have so much of a great burden of health. And I'm still going to show us some things. But before that, I think I should leave this. This is just trying to compare the health benefits, meat versus fish. Healthier fat profile, easier to digest, lower calorie and fat content. That's the advantage that fish, has over meat. Rich in essential nutrients. Then lower risk of certain health issues. So, but because of time, I'm not going to be touching it one after the other. Then even in terms of the digestion process, immediate digestion time for proteins. Immediate digestion time for proteins, you can see animal based, how long it takes. Egg, fish, 1 hour plus to 2 hours before it digests. Then chicken, if it is lean chicken, 2 to 3 hours. Red meats takes more time, 3 to 4 hours or even above. That's for digestion. That's not for full from mouth to guts, passage out of the body, and we are still going to touch that. But that's for animal. Then plant-based, legumes, soy products, nuts, seeds, whole grains and all that, that too in a way relatively take 1 hour to 2 hours thereabouts. For complete gut transit, mouth to waist, it takes 24 to 72 hours for all proteins. 20 important, but if every food we eat, whether they are plant-based or they are animal-based, takes at least 24 hours, between 24 hours and 72 hours for that food to, get to waste, then it means that we have to, that's what the next slide is about, regular bowel movements. It means that, regular bowel movements support a healthy gut, and you need regular intake of dietary fiber, and you get fiber from whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes. So that means if you are not eating any of these things, you are not going to have enough dietary fiber that your body needs. Then the second point is adequate hydration. That means and stool formation. So that has to do with all these probiotics, by NCDs. And the major burden of disease in this age group being congenital or acquired cardiovascular diseases, cancers, chronic respiratory disorders, diabetes, mental health disorders and injury. Each year, about 1 million people under the age of 20 die from treatable NCDs. About 1 million people every year. Not just people, ages below 20, accounting for over 15.85% of deaths in the age group. Globally, about 1.1 million children and adolescents have T1D, that is type 1 diabetes. 1.1 million children and adolescents below 20 having type 1 diabetes and needing insulin daily to survive. I can't believe that. I can't believe that in this same world, we have children and adolescents below 20 years living each day on insulin, needing insulin daily to survive. Many do not have access to life-saving care and treatment. So it means that the issue of health or living healthy has now gone beyond a matter that is for adults only. Many of us as parents, you go the extra mile in making sure that you are eating right. But somehow you leave your adolescents. You're like, well, when he gets older, he too will realize it. Wow. But if something goes wrong with the health of the child, if the child acquires so much, if the sugar level goes up and so many things happen, it's the parents that will face it. So I feel that we can't, or we should no longer just leave our children or adolescents. They say children and adolescents. That means it's possible it's affecting 5-year-old children, 7-year-old children. Some of them are obese because they just eat anything they see. They are not instructed on how to live. They are not instructed on how to eat. The risk factors for NCDs are behaviors established in childhood and adolescence. If you look at adolescents and you see their behaviors and lifestyles, when it comes to healthy living or healthy eating, you will know that it is nothing to write home about. But it means that they are laying a foundation for future. So you don't just want to raise adolescents that you are like, do you want, you know you don't eat it. Some parents don't eat all these packaged products, but you go to supermarket, you buy everything for your child, but you will not eat it. That's like helping them to lay a foundation for when they become adult, they're developing all manners of diseases. So I believe that every parent, even if your children are young, it's very easy to help them. It's not very easy to instruct adolescents and say, I don't want you to take this again. Sometimes you hear them say, if you don't want to give me at home, at least I'll go to school. They're in the universities and you are not there. And sometimes we say it out to you, if you say I should not eat it, Shebi, I will go to school. When the child goes to school and spend 3 months in the university, you will not be there. So it's just simply telling you that, okay, if I'm constrained here, but Shebi, when I get there, Shebi, I can buy anything I like, and you will not be there. When your child is telling you that, then you know that you need to really labor to make this child see. See, there's something I'm seeing that you need to see. So the risk factors for NCDs are behaviors established in childhood and adolescence. Today, 81% of adolescents do not get it worldwide. 12% are heavy episodic drinkers. 41 million children over 5 are overweight or obese. And over 90% of those under 15 breathe toxic air every day. And lastly, children and adolescents are often targeted by companies selling unhealthy products, e.g. tobacco, alcohol, foods high in fat, sugar or salt. So I want every youth that is hearing me, and every adolescent that is hearing me, and every parent that is hearing me, we must know that even as children, they are sowing seed for the future. Or as adolescents, they are laying foundation for the future. And we have to go out of our way to make sure that you don't only secure your health, but you secure the health of people that, God has placed in your custody. We must watch over them. We must, it shouldn't just be by, I don't want you to do this. You have to let them know. Open things for them. Show it. See the age category that is affected by this thing. How can they say that over 1 million people, or what they say? Over 1 million, globally about 1.1 million children and adolescents have type 1 diabetes and need insulin daily to survive. That's unbelievable for me. For a child of 16 years old, or 14 or 13, to be in the house and the parent have to place that child on insulin every day to live. Ask myself that how many years can that child be on insulin? How many decades more can such a child live? So we need to really go the extra mile in making sure that we are not just folding our hands. We are not just folding our hands. Please, can you give me the last slide where I stopped? I think I've done this. The next should be okay. According to WHO, so we read some things that UNICEF said. Now this is WHO. NCDs killed at least 43 million people in 2021, equivalent to 75% of non-pandemic related deaths globally. In 2021, 18 million people died from an NCD before age 70 years. 82% of these premature deaths occur in low and middle income countries, even those who are not low and middle, upper. Everything affects them. Cardiovascular diseases. I hope what I've said about NCD is clear. For somebody say they are just saying NCD. Diabetes is when sugar level is high. And it's not just something that is genetic. Some people will say it's not in our history. It's not just when something is genetic. The father or the grandfather or great grandfather may not have diabetes, and somebody can develop diabetes as youth, and we pass it to his children and pass it to his children's children. So through bad lifestyle or eating habits, people should not generate what was not even in their blood. But then we've heard of cases like, I made reference to, Dr. Fisayo Elugbadebo, what she said about the two old women. That one, she even saw that her siblings are coming down with it, and she made up her mind that she's going to change it through her diet. So things that we can even say history is in the blood, is genetic, can be changed. You can look at what maybe somebody's dad came down with diabetes or something. You can look at, or maybe hypertension or something. You can look at how did that person live, lifestyle. Does he rest, or is he a workaholic? How does he eat? What does he feed on? Do you have a message for me? What does he eat? You understand? What does he drink? Not just that, oh, is he drinking alcohol? He may not be drinking alcohol. You look at the way food is prepared in the house. You say, my daddy likes food though. He can sit down like this and he will pack pomo and plenty meat. You can't even serve my daddy without meat. And then you can't say you want to cook LD soup for my daddy. He must see oil, he must see. So it means those are the things that fed that thing. So you as a child will not see it, and then you disconnect yourself from it. And we are still going to touch on those things that generate all these things that we call NCD, non-communicable diseases, diabetes, blood pressure abnormalities, cancers of different kinds, and some other diseases that are in the list. Cardiovascular diseases account for most NCD deaths, or at least 90 million deaths in 2021. I've said that. Followed by cancers, 10 million. 90 million. NCD, cancer, 10 million. I don't know if you're following this thing. Yes, that means cancer is not even the top killer, as it were. And NCDs are preventable diseases. So how can preventable diseases kill 90 million? Cancer, 10 million. Chronic respiratory diseases, 4 million. Diabetes, over 2 million, including kidney disease deaths caused by diabetes. These 4 groups of diseases account for 80%. So when they are talking about NCDs, basically it includes the 4 groups of diseases that have been mentioned. These 4 groups of diseases account for 80% of all premature NCD deaths. So it means NCD is the main cause of premature deaths. Then tobacco use, physical inactivity. I want us to take note of this. Tobacco use, physical inactivity, the harmful use of alcohol. Please, can you follow me?
Yes, ma'am.
Tobacco use, physical inactivity. So physical inactivity. Somebody say tobacco use. Thank God we're living in such a continent, because you enter some places and almost everybody you see on the streets, they are smoking. And you're like, what kind of a lifestyle is this? Young person, even some children, just smoking. What's happening? Okay, we are not living in such an environment. But let's look at this second point. Physical inactivity. How many of the younger generation today leave morning to go to work and come back by evening? Majority sit at home to do remote job. No physical activity. So somehow, it's like the thing came, and it came as if, thank God though, now you can walk anywhere in the world. You don't even need to leave your house. But that was not the way it was in the beginning. Man is to go out and walk. Man is to go out and walk. So some people will say, okay, we are going to create a work space. Okay, when you get to that workspace, how many hours do you use on seats? You can be there 10 hours. So we need to pay attention to this thing. It means somebody that is doing such a work must have ways that the body can be exercised regularly, daily, not just once in a week. The body must be exercised regularly. Maybe the person takes walk. You are leaving office, instead of entering car, you are trekking. You are trekking. You have something to do in some places, maybe 4-story building, and there's lift, and you tell yourself that I don't need lift. This is my opportunity to exercise myself, and you are climbing the stairs. So tobacco use, physical inactivity, the harmful use of alcohol, unhealthy diet. They are talking about things that have contributed to NCD. Unhealthy diets and air pollution all increase the risk of dying from an NCD. Now look at this chart. This is 2016 chart. We are still going to look at maybe a more recent one. Topmost on the list is cardiovascular diseases. That has to do with blood pressure, you know, and so many other things under this. Then can you see cancer? Like half of it. Then respiratory diseases, diabetes, lower respiratory infections, dementia, neonatal deaths, diarrhea diseases, road injuries, liver disease. Can you see? Let's go to the next. So this one, we can see 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 to 2021. And for this also, the highest, the highest on the list is for 2021. The highest on the list, we use different colors to trace it. The highest on the list is still, they said, communicable, the name is above. Communicable, maternal, neonatal, and nutritional diseases. Then we have non-communicable diseases. Let's go to the next slide. This is also 2021. The first one that carried majority of the is cardiovascular diseases, the first one underneath. Then next to that you can see respiratory infections and tuberculosis. Then next to that you can see cancer, and then all others. So what we are discussing today is something that is affecting a large population of people worldwide. And as we proceed further, you will see how it's not as if NCDs, non-communicable diseases, is not to say that that is the only category of disease, but because a large number of non-communicable diseases can be prevented through diets, and you will know why. Now we are seeing here, we can see cardiovascular disease, and cardiovascular disease, majorly has to do with, that's not the only thing, there are some other heart related diseases, but majorly feature has abnormal blood pressure. And as we proceed further, we will move into diets, and you will see the different things that we feed on and how these things feed all these diseases and then can generate all these diseases. Let's go to the next slide. Now the first thing we want to look at is sugar. White sugar is sometimes called a poison in popular health discussions. And why? It is highly refined. White sugar is heavily processed, stripping away natural nutrients, fiber, and minerals. It provides empty calories. People easily think that they get calories from sugar. It will give me energy. It provides empty calories, energy without vitamins or minerals. Wow. So it will give the energy, but they call it empty calories. Wow. Then it spikes blood sugar. White sugar is quickly absorbed, causing rapid spikes in blood glucose and insulin. Then repeated spikes can lead to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. Then white sugar, it causes obesity and fat accumulation. So people that feed on white sugar, and then consistently, excess sugar contributes to weight gain because the body stores unused glucose as fat. So that means the myth that I will burn it is not correct. It's not correct. The body will store unused glucose as fat. High sugar intake, especially from sugary drinks, is linked to visceral fats around organs, which is risky for heart health. Then it leads to heart and liver risk. Too much sugar can increase triglycerides, raise blood pressure, and promote fatty liver disease. Long time use of sugar, this can raise the risk of heart disease and stroke. So part of cardiovascular diseases, you know, heart disease, and then it can also result in stroke. So there are some people, part of that number that we read, some people died of stroke. So we really need to go the extra mile. Let's read further. It causes dental problems. Sugar feeds cavity causing bacteria, leading to tooth decay. Then it leads to addiction. So that's why some people that have been on sugar for a long time finds it difficult to pull away from it. Sugar triggers dopamine release in the brain, creating cravings similar to addictive substances. Can you imagine sugar acting like cocaine? Those who stay on cocaine find it difficult to pull off. Please, let's put our phones on silence. Thank you so much. Then the next thing, and for me personally, this one is catching my attention a lot, because personally I don't feed on sugar, and I cannot remember the last time I did that. And if I did that, maybe once in 5 years or once in 10 years. Because I remember that we had a temptation recently. If you know, you know. We had a temptation recently. But before that time, it might be up to 5 years or more that I fed on sugar. Consciously, or to carry my food and pour sugar into it. Unless you give me something to drink and I didn't know sugar was there. So I don't feed on sugar, but I use salt. And I think everybody uses salt, because there's no way we can cook without salt. So we've said some things about sugar. We are talking about things that generate disease in the body. You know, that's why I showed us some research findings on non-communicable diseases. And I'm trying to show us some food substances that lead to those diseases. Feeding on them constantly, what they can cause. So we've talked on sugar. Now this is salt. According to WHO, mortality rates according to WHO on mortality rates, nearly 1.9 million deaths annually globally are linked to excessive sodium consumption, or you can say excessive salt consumption. Nearly 1.9 million deaths every year. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Globally are linked to excessive sodium consumption, primarily through increased risk of high blood pressure. You remember I mentioned that NCD, diseases in that category, we have high blood pressure, you know, stroke and all that. So primarily through increased risk of high blood pressure, cardiovascular diseases, that is heart attack, stroke, gastric cancer, and kidney disease, linked to salt consumption. Not just salt consumption, but high salt consumption. And we are still now going to look at what is high salt consumption, because majority of us are consuming more salt than our body needs. Do you know that it looks impossible for you to add too much salt to food and you'll be able to eat it? You say, this food is salty, I can't eat it, this food is salty. But what we call normal taste is still consumption of high amount of sodium, more than what the body needs. So if you pour too much salt in food, you put it in your mouth, you will not be able to eat it. But what we are calling normal taste is high. Is higher than what the body needs. Let's see National Institute of Health, what it said. National Institute of Health noted that diet low in potassium, calcium, and magnesium, common in some black populations, can worsen salt sensitivity, while increasing these minerals, e.g. through fruits, vegetables, low-fat diet, can lower blood pressure. Let's continue. WHO recommends that adults consume less than 2,000 mg of sodium per day, equivalent to less than 5 grams of salt, or 4.2 meal spoon. Now this is 5 meal spoon. Of all these spoons, this is the biggest. 1 tablespoon, and then this is half tablespoon, and then this is 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon is 5 ml. And then the recommendation is that daily, the WHO recommends that adults consume less than 2000 mg. That means salt that is not up to, it does not feel, because this is a 5 ml, and what we are saying is salt that is less than 4.2 ml. This is 5 ml. So it means the salt we should consume should be less than 4.2 ml. If it is less than 4.2 ml, maybe 3.5 ml or something, not up to this spoon daily. Most people currently consume double this recommended amount. I don't think it is double WHO. I think it is times 6 or times but they are, by research they have observed that most people consume more. So how many of these spoons do we put in each meal? And then imagining cooking 3 times a day, and maybe you use 3 of these spoons or 4 before your food is sweet. And if you say that shebi is food of 6 people, okay, if we use 4 of these to sweeten food, I wanted pink salt to be here. Maybe we omitted it along the way, but that is the picture. However, you know, some of us, we pride in, it's not white salt. Pink salt is sodium. Let's say in its original state. But white salt is sodium plus so many other things, additives and so many other things that we don't need. So we can say that pink salt is more original than white. The white salt that is common. There are some white salts that are sea salts. Pink salt is a sea salt. There are some white salt, in fact, you meet them as stone. Pink salt, you can find some Himalayan salt that is not granulated. They can also come as big stones that you have to break and you have to blend. And some come out as maybe smaller stones. But you can also find white sea salt. So the issue is not even so much about it is pink salt. That it is pink salt does not mean as an adult is supposed to consume more than, they say less than this 1 teaspoon, less than 1 teaspoon per day. So if we use to cook for the family and we use 6 of this, the first meal, and you are 6, and I don't know if 6 of these will sweeten food for people that are not using Maggi, and we're still going to get to Maggi. I have news for you. Everyone online, I have so much news for you today. And everyone in the room, I have so much news for you. I have news for you. So if we cook our first meal and we use 6 and we are 5 in number, what comes to me, that means I have consumed more than 1 spoon. And then the second meal, the same way. You know, you cook rice or beans, you put salt. You cook the sauce, you put salt. A few other things that we had may also have salt. For instance, if you use stockfish. Recently, I had to tell them that be soaking the stockfish inside hot water. Because if you taste it, you know that the sweetness in it is not just sweetness in your sauce or in your soup. It's the salt that followed it. And obviously, I know that it is white salt or whatever kind of salt. The thing is much. And when you are eating that particular side, you are like, this thing is too much. So I have to tell them that soak it in hot water, let the salt content come out before we use it. So second meal, another 1 spoon enters your body. The third meal. So it looks like an adult, that's home cooking, not restaurants. So it looks like an adult takes at least 3 of these spoons each day. And then remember that some people, besides the salt, we still had Maggi or a few other, not chicken, I don't know what they call their names now, because I've left that world many years. 5 million deaths annually, mainly from heart disease and stroke. How do we prevent it? They said reduce your use of salt to less than 1 teaspoon, not per meal, per day. So if I want to cook 2 meals per day, how can I ensure that what enters my body is not up to 1 teaspoon from the 2 meals I'm going to eat? That will not for each meal and be able to beat this. We can't. Because if you want to eat fruits now, are you going to cook your fruits and put salt in it? No. So there are some foods that the natural taste is there. You eat it that way without having to need salt. And I also feel that using salt to wash fruits and all that is also increasing salt intake. You can still wash your fruit properly, you know, maybe with vinegar or something. I don't know how vinegar, you know, I don't know how it tastes. It tastes sour. So you can, preferably you can wash your fruits. If you feel you need to wash it, go and buy soybean from the market and grind it. All of them are what we call UP herbs. I'm still going to touch that. Ultra processed foods. If a company wants to make seasoning, it's not like they will not say, okay, you go to market, go and buy soybean, pick it, wash it. No, all those things are ready made, and most of them are ultra processed foods. Okay, this is the soy, this is the hydrolyzed soy. You will see it in a package, maybe big package from one industry that does that. It's not as if that thing already has chemicals and everything to preserve or to give it a shelf life. They pack that. Even the cornstarch, it's not as if they just bought corn from the market and grind it. So cornstarch, hydrolyzed soy, or vegetable protein or stock powders provide savory meat-like notes. Okay. Vegetable fat or palm oil inside seasoning. Another area we need to watch is our use of oil. I found out that, for instance, European diets, hardly do they use oil for every. Somebody was mentioning, I think it's still Dr. Fisayo Elugbadebo, that, you know, during her NYSC, they will serve her bread with vegetables, not not efori. Are you with me? Not efori. Vegetables, maybe like tomato, lettuce. I don't know if you can remember a picture of hamburger. Yeah. That they open the bread and you see tomato, you see cabbage, you see lettuce, you see different things packed inside. That, you know, some of those Western people, they don't have culture of, you want to eat yam, you make sauce, you make soup. You want to eat rice, you make. Sometimes they are eating grains and what they just put on it can just be maybe a blend of you know, vegetables and all that. Not so much of soup, sauce, the way every meal we take. So now, because almost every meal we take, we must put vegetable as soup or one kind of soup or sauce, everything. It makes us to use a lot of oil, and that is also causing issue. So to be able to eat healthy, natural food that is uncooked has to be part of your diet regularly, daily. And then secondly, you have to scrape off some things from your diet. Well, me, because it's already an experience for me. It's not just what I am trying to do and now telling people to do it. I feel that there is grace for somebody to stop eating some things. You just simply need to replace it. When I stopped eating sugar, I replaced it with honey and sometimes dates. Some people say it's difficult to get original honey. Well, it's not to say that every honey one sees one we get, but it doesn't mean that original honey does not exist. Honey or dates or palm dates. We have dates here. You know, honey or dates. So, but let me continue reading. So, vegetable fat is part of what they use, or palm oil for the regular Nigerian seasoning, to add richness and texture to cubes. Then onion and garlic powders. Then they use herbs and spices, chili pepper, clove. Actually, I wish that all these things that are the good parts, they are things that they actually gathered naturally. If they gathered it naturally, not that they are just, you know, getting supply from companies that already, you know, processed all those ingredients. But let's continue. Herbs and spices. Then colorants, e.g. caramel color, emulsifiers, e.g. solenticin in commercial cubes. Then salt, mainly seasoning, base, used in cubes, and they are trying to say that is the main seasoning base, majority of salt. Then we have flavor enhancers, e.g. MSG, monosodium glutamate, disodium inosinate. If I'm not calling it well, please forgive me. Disodium guanylate. You to help me, please. So they call it flavor enhancers. Top on the list, monosodium glutamate, and a lot has been said about monosodium glutamate. So the main ingredient that they use to make Maggi and all those things, salt, then monosodium glutamate, disodium, everything, sodium in their different proportions. Then sugar to balance saltiness and enhance flavor in seasoning cubes. Now I put here, let's compare European, because among continents that are in terms of watchful in what they eat, Europe is more according to people normally say that US is how do I put it, in terms of, if you want to eat unhealthy diet, if you go to US, you will have a lot. That their regulations and their laws don't so much focus on what people should eat, what people should not eat. But unlike some countries in Europe, or Europe generally, so I'm to compare African seasoning with European seasoning. The salt, I've talked about Nigerian seasoning, so let me just do more of the European side. Salt, moderate, often iodized sea salt or table salt. Then for MSG, less common. So just be looking at that side of the table, that is European seasoning. Less common, mainly in processed foods or some bouillons. Then sugar, rare in savory seasonings, more in sauces or marinades. But they say rare. For MSG, they say less common. Salt, they say moderate. But however, for Nigeria, salt is the base. Then dry vegetables and aromatics. For European, onion, garlic, herbs, sometimes vegetable powders. Then for spices and herbs, thyme, rosemary, parsley and all that. Then for stock or meat extracts, bouillon cubes often contain dehydrated meat, blah blah blah. Then oil and fat, rare, usually no added fat in powdered seasoning. Then colorant additives, minimal. Artificial colors, less common, EU regulated. So sometimes when you are talking on what to eat and what not to eat, it's like people want to be reading my slide ahead. I hope you've taken it back. So sometimes when you want to talk to people will say, but even the more advanced countries, they eat it. That's why I had to do a little research on what do they, and I see that most of their food ingredients and all that are highly regulated, but less regulated here. So we need to go the extra mile in. We are still looking at African or Nigerian seasoning cubes from an earlier article written some years ago. Let's see this. Did you know that popular seasoning cubes contain a high level of MSG, that is monosodium glutamate? It is extremely high level of nearly 7 times above human body needs. Trans fats, sodium, all of which damages the brain cells and increases chances of stroke. You remember what we read about the non-communicable diseases? They say it is high, but now we're trying to look at, and they said it's preventable. We're trying to look at how change of diets can reduce the number and can make sure that none of us is part of that number. Trans fats, sodium, all of which damages the brain cells and increases chances of stroke. High rate of popular seasoning cubes consumption could develop erectile dysfunction, persistent waist pain, and rheumatism, and beyond that. Then this was said by a doctor, Dr. Ajolore. Consuming the popular seasoning, he actually added the name, but I just tried to because you can't be talking about a company name, because there's a lead name for all these things. But that's why I just decided to use popular seasoning cubes. Consuming the popular seasoning cubes in every cooking is akin to increasing cardiovascular risk, including hypertension. This is from a doctor. Diabetes, stroke. The risk is higher, particularly when one advances in age, as it weakens the heart functions. You know, but the issue now is not just with adults. We have seen it. How many people below 20 that it is affecting? So if it can affect people below 20, then how much more people above? You can ultra processed foods, because we can see that much of our stores and the things we feed on, they are dominated by ultra processed food. Sometimes we call it processed food, but it's not just about processed food, because sometimes it's not as if processed food is wrong, but how it is processed. So there's a category of food that they call ultra processed foods. Are you learning anything?
Yes.
Ultra processed foods are industrial food products which have been heavily altered. I don't know if you can see the image.
Yes.
You know, imagine, you know, those eat everything coming out and they package it in nylon, and you go to ShopRite and you buy it as cookie and you are throwing it, and you don't know whatever it is that is part of that food item you are taking. So they are industrial food products which have been heavily altered from their original forms and are mostly made from refined substances and additives rather than whole foods. What makes a food ultra processed? Refined ingredients like white flour, refined oils, corn syrup, added sugars and salt in high amounts, industrial additives you wouldn't use at home, such as emulsifiers, preservatives, artificial flavors and colors, sweeteners, flavor enhancers like MSG. So all these things, you will not put them when you are cooking at home, but when you buy a ready-made product, oftentimes, you know, that can stay 6 months. Somebody said, what makes a food unhealthy is what can make that food to stay on the shelf without spoiling, either for 1 month or 2 months. And then to know a food that how do I put it now? You know, food come in different. If you put 3 food items here, they can hurt the body in different degrees. That the one that can hurt the body most is the one that can stay 1 year, 2 years, 6 months. The longer the shelf life, the more dangerous it is. The longer the shelf life. If you see some juice, they will say they will put dates from the day you open it. They can say 3 days, but there are some that they can put 6 months. Some they can put. So let's proceed further. UP herbs. What is UPF? UP herbs are designed to be hyper-palliative, long-lasting on shelves, convenient and ready to eat. Common examples: sugary breakfast cereals. Like, these are things that our adolescents, I'm just praying that they will find deliverance. You know, sometimes you make breakfast and then somebody will tell you that I am not hungry, I have taken cornflakes. They say, like, you expect that maybe that cornflakes should be what you eat maybe when you are hungry at a particular time and food is not ready. But even with food being ready, somebody tells that I am not hungry, I've taken cornflakes. Say cornflakes is not breakfast. He say cornflakes is breakfast. If I have my way, let me not say it. Actually, I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in those things. You know, and I think we really need to face the fact now. So sugary breakfast cereals, soft drinks and energy drinks, packaged snack foods, chips, cookies, crackers. Some of them come all the way from United Kingdom. Land on your table. Instant noodles and boxed meals, fast food burgers, fries, nuggets, candy and chocolate bars. You say, hey, is something wrong with chocolate? Why don't you make your own chocolate? Or buy from companies that you know how they make it, not from anywhere in the world, China, wherever. You don't know. No, processed meats, hot dogs, deli meats, sweetened yogurt and flavored milk drinks. Not all processed foods are UP herbs. So I want us to pay attention on this. Not all processed foods are UP herbs. Processing exists on a spectrum. So we have unprocessed, where we can find fresh fruit, vegetables, and all that. Then we have processed culinary ingredients, like you cook in your kitchen, or things that we use to cook, olive oil, you know. Sugar is not in this category for me. You know, sugar is not in this. If there is a need for something sweet to be used, there are other alternatives for sugar. You know, butter, salt, whole wheat bread with simple ingredients, cheese, they are called processed foods. Then ultra processed food, long lasting drinks and snacks with preservatives, reconstituted meats like hot dogs, sausages, bacons, chicken nuggets. So we have unprocessed, and then we have what again? And then we have ultra processed. So we need to avoid ultra processed foods, and you need to be able to define it. Why they are a concern. Research has consistently linked high intake of UPFs with weight gain and obesity. What's next? Type 2 diabetes, poor gut health, what again? Cardiovascular disease, and increased inflammation. I know some inflammation takes place internally that people do not see. Then UPFs are low in fiber and micronutrients. Then high calorie density, rapid digestion and blood sugar spikes, additives affecting appetite and satiety. Okay, how to identify them on a label? When the ingredient list is long, 10 plus. You know, there's some chemicals you just when the ingredient list is long, 10 plus items. When it includes ingredients you don't recognize or can't pronounce. When it contains multiple additives, e.g. flavor, color, emulsifier. When it's ready to eat with little resemblance to a whole food. Simple rule of thumb. If you couldn't reasonably make it in your kitchen from basic ingredients, it's probably ultra processed. Now, we have a long list of natural food provisions, and as I was looking at all these things, I was just like, wow, God did man so much good. You know, leafy greens, spinach, lettuce, kale, scent leaf, live plant, bitter leaf, moringa. I can't read everything because of time. We have root vegetables, carrot, beets, radishes. We have tubers, sweet potatoes. We have alliums, onions, garlic, leeks, cruciferous vegetables, you know, broccoli, cauliflower, and other fruiting vegetables, tomatoes, cucumbers, you know, like that. Then legumes. Sorry, please. Legumes, peas, green beans, chickpeas, stem and shoots, celery, asparagus, and all that. Then we have edible rhizomes, ginger, turmeric. You know, don't say, there are some we may not be familiar with, but there are some we are familiar with. Wasabi, lotus roots, water lily, and all that. We have bark, cinnamon. This cinnamon, and it has its own good. Cinnamon, cassia bark, slippery hemp, pine, willow, and others. We have flower buds. They could be fresh, they could be dried, cooked, or infused, like what we call zobo. That's hibiscus. You know, we infuse it. It's not as if we eat it, but we infuse it. When you boil it, you know what comes out of the hen. So flower buds, fresh, dry, cooked, or infused, and so many are there. You know, cloves. So clove is a flower bud. Cloves, which other one are there that are familiar? Rose buds, lavender buds, jasmine, hibiscus buds, and then we have another category of white, dandelion. Some of these things, they use them, all these white ones, they use them in cure, medicinal. But we have a long list of what God expects should be featured in our diet regularly. Seeds, black seed or cumin, quinoa, By the time we break into question and answer, we'll be able to lift all these things and show us. Or you can just walk up to the table and check those things by yourself. But we have a long list. It's not everything we're able to bring it. Sunflower, sesame, chia, flax, like that. Then nuts, nutmeg, walnut, tiger nut, dates, bitter kola nut. Please don't close your eyes on all these things. Don't close your eyes. Like kola nuts, no, bitter kola is very good for respiratory health. Like the fresh one, if you can get it and slice it and dry it and blend it into powder, and just have it in a small pouch, and maybe once in a week just put some in your mouth. Some people say it's too bitter, you can mix it with small honey. So don't close your eyes on all these things. Don't say, I want every one of us to take up the challenge that we can have a list that is endless of what God has blessed man with in nature. All these things are in nature. There are so many things in Nigeria that we are not even familiar with. It's not everything on the list that is you can find in Europe or you can find in US, or whatever. Citrus, oranges, lemons, and all that. Berries, strawberries, blueberries, tropical fruits, mangoes, papaya and all that. Papaya is pawpaw. Stone fruits, peaches, cherries, apricots, palm fruits, apples. So I want everybody to have a list of all these things and mark the ones you can easily access. In fact, there are some that may be around you and you may not know that is what it's called. So you can first of all check for their image online. Because of time, we would have shown images. Melons, watermelons, honeydew and all that. We have grapes, raisins, banana, and lots more. Now, let's see something about metabolism. Time is really running fast. I pray I'll be able to still touch a bit more. I think we are still moving at a good speed. So let's look at metabolism. What is metabolism? How the body converts food and drink to energy to keep us alive and functioning. So that means everybody needs to understand metabolism, and there are things that support it and there are things that do not support it. And so metabolism is based on what goes in all chemical processes in cells per second. So metabolism does not just occur only when you eat. That my body is trying to break down food. Then let's see some other things about metabolism. The chemical processes the body uses to convert food to energy, building blocks and waste in order to stay alive and function, like digestion, breathing, how the body digests food. So metabolism also means how the body digests food, absorbs nutrients, uses them, and gets rid of what it does not need. So when food enters into the mouth and then food gets to the point gets to waste, metabolism takes place. Food metabolism determines how efficiently your body gets energy and nutrients from what you eat. It affects your energy levels, how your body stores at digestion. Food is broken down in stomach and intestines into smaller molecules. Carbohydrate is converted to sugar, protein is converted to amino acids, fat is converted to fatty acids. Then next, absorption. After digestion has taken place, these small molecules are absorbed into the bloodstream and taken into cells where they are either burned for energy. So everything that we eat, the body will convert it, and when it gets to absorption time, it goes into the blood. So if you take things that are UPFs or things that are not healthy, or excess salt, excess sugar, all those things, the standard I'm raising is that replace your sugar with something else. I'm not raising a standard that you should reduce it. Replace it. Just replace it. You can replace it with honey or replace it with dates. And then you don't need to put. Somebody was asking me yesterday that okay, I made a juice, I made pineapple juice. Then I was like, there's no need for me to add honey. Pineapple juice is sweet. The person asked, is it not honey? That are we still supposed to be regulated in? I said, why not? I said, too much of anything, whether even if it is something good, can hurt us, can hurt the body. So you don't need to pour sweetener in everything you eat. You don't need to pour sweetener in it. Some people will cook and they will still pour sugar inside their food. They are cooking beans, they have sugar. They are putting. Some people will cook beans and still have Maggi Like, it doesn't make sense. For what purpose? Onion, salt should be able to sweeten beans. Then if you like, you add crayfish. So why add sugar to beans? Why add sugar to yam? Why add sugar? Then add your sugar to also your amala and your eba and your everything you are eating. Let people know that your second name is sugar. So please, don't just say they said I should replace sugar. In fact, by the time you spend money on dates, you will know how not to use sweetener for every meal. A few days ago, I went out with my kids and we parked somewhere and we were just walking about looking for some things. Then after I was saying, hey, I didn't prepare for all these long walking. Oh, wow, I didn't prepare. That okay, let me get some dates. So I approached the person selling date by the roadside and I saw that he found 4 pieces of date for 100 naira. I said, what? Is date as expensive as this? I bought it, I washed it and I ate it. Because when you go out that way under the sun, your temptation is high to buy Coke. When last did I buy Coke? Actually, I was tempted. But I overcame the temptation. You know, you are burning energy, you are under the sun, you are walking about. Then the thought just came, but they sell dates around now. So I just bought dates, 4 pieces, 100 naira. And I washed it, I bought water, I washed it, and I ate it. And I forgot about feeling tired. Because actually dates gives you like almost immediate energy within 5 minutes. But it is expensive. That's what is bringing me to the story. It's expensive. So by now you buy dates and it's expensive. You buy good honey, it's expensive. You will know how not to use sweetener for everything you want to eat. So some things can be taken like garri. If you get good garri that has a bit of a sour taste, you don't need sugar. You don't need honey. You don't need dates. Some people see that as impossible. Only if and then some people will pay garri because they cannot afford sweetener, they will pour salt. Some people can pour ground pepper inside their garri. People do funny things as if that garri is eba. Pour the salt, okay, so let's proceed further. We are talking about metabolism. So it involves 4 processes: digestion, then absorption. It goes into the bloodstream where they are either burned for energy or used to build or repair tissues or stored for later use. For later use, such as glycogen, for your muscle or liver, and body fats. I don't want to build up something for body fat. Do you know eating late also can everything, metabolism takes place. The kind of lifestyle that you have determines the kind of metabolism that takes place. They encourage adults not to be eating late, but if even the people that are younger in age are also being affected by certain things, then I feel that even younger people should also try to observe the rules. Don't carry heavy food into your body, maybe 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. and you are done eating, no activity again, and you lay on the bed. It's not easy for the organs to be breaking down all those food and all that. So sometimes they stop as fat. Then the third is conversion and use, and they call this one metabolism proper. Inside cells, nutrients are burned for energy, used to build and repair tissues, stored for later use. Then waste removal, byproducts. Let's go to the next slide. Body's metabolism never stops, even during rest and sleep. I want everybody to understand metabolism and how it works, because it also affects health. Body's metabolism never stops. So metabolism does not only take place when you are eating. There's a difference between digestion and metabolism. Digestion is part of metabolism, but metabolism is not just digestion. So it constantly sustains basic body functions: breathing, circulating blood, digesting food, growing and repairing cells, managing hormone levels, regulating body temperature. Then a healthy life-sustaining metabolism requires cells to function and rest and adapt to a changing environment or period. Eating, fasting, starvation, physical activity. If the person is sick or there's an injury during pregnancy, during lactation. A healthy life sustaining metabolism, you know, should be able to make cells to function at different periods. That's what they are saying, without any problem. Then things that hinder good metabolism include nutritional deficiencies, vitamin D leading to poor calcium absorption, affecting bone health, iron deficiency resulting in anemia, lack of excess calories, hormonal imbalances. So hormonal imbalances can affect metabolism, thyroid problems, you know, can slow down your metabolism, causing fatigue and weight gain and more. You know, sometimes when we are thinking about, okay, they've said this, they've said that, how do I, okay, my vitamin D, I don't even know if it is not low, because sometimes I feel tired. How do I overcome anemia? All those. I thought about it recently, and what came to my mind is there was no hard and fast rule about how to be healthy. You know, in ancient times, the instructions that God gave to man. In fact, God does not want man to have care, to sit down and be saying what to, God just expect that all those natural food, because one thing about uncooked food is that their nutrients are intact, and then not only that their nutrients are intact, like vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and all those things that we saw the other time, they have a lot of minerals and vitamins in them that you may not find in, you know, what we call macronutrients. You may not find in your carbohydrates. Carbohydrate is carbohydrate. Protein is protein. So the body cannot just survive only on carbohydrate and protein. They say we should not be eating too much rice again. So I take a lot of beans. Body cannot only just survive on protein. Body needs a lot of minerals and vitamins. Now, sometimes when we eat things that should normally give us vitamins, for instance, tomatoes, onions, and all those things, we still pass them through eats. Serious eats. Recently, when they were making Christmas rice, and by privilege, I happened to be there. I said, as the rice started cooking, they said, no, we are still boiling. So I sat and I said, really? So this is what it takes to put jollof rice on our table. Like, they subject it to excess heat, they cook the pepper, leave the pepper, then they boil. I said, so the only nutrient in this food is just the rice that you add as the last. I just looked at the amount of heat that everything goes through. They say, if you don't do it like that, it will not. I say, hey, I now know. When you are smelling wedding rice, just know. You know, when you eat anything that does not nourish your body, you are just eating junks. So junks is not only when you go to eatery and they are giving you, you can eat junk on your dining table if you don't keep an eye on how food is made. Sometimes I tell my, my daughters, I said, see the color of this sauce. It shows that it stayed long on it. I said, what it simply means is that you are just feeding us with what is sweet in the mouth. It is not nourishing the body. I said, like, the color of this thing changed. So it means it stayed long on heat. So what I'm trying to say is that heat destroys a lot of vitamins that should naturally be even in some of those things you are eating. I see people cook vegetable soup, and I don't say, this is not vegetable soup. You know, our mamas, they call it eforiro. I said, which one is eforiro? You leave it on it, you keep stirring. You succeeded in killing all the nutrients in it. Then you put it in soup, in the plate, you are eating and you are smiling. What is there to smile about? You understand? So a lot has to change about us. We have to eat by knowledge, and we have to cook by knowledge. You have to cook by knowledge. You have to eat by knowledge. So God did not design it that we have to sit down and say, where can I get vitamin D? What should I eat that will give me vitamin D? Okay, maybe I should be walking in the sun in the morning before 12. Okay, where can I get iron? No. Okay, they said I need potassium. That is because potassium is not enough. That's why, where can I get? God did not make man to be careful. He said, be careful for nothing. it involves food. So I thought about it that how can we do it in a way that we don't need to sit down and be saying where can I get vitamin D? Just feed. Make a long list of things you have to bring into your diet and feed and develop a habit of feeding on them regularly. After a while, you know, this one supply this mineral, this one supply this one supply this, without you even knowing what minerals are found in this, what minerals are found in that. You just make sure that those things are a regular part of your diet. And after a while, you just see that the complaints you have in your body, they are no longer there. So let's go. Have I touched this? I think I've spent some time, you know, what to do to have a healthy metabolism. Choose nutritious foods, you know, choose nutritious food. Because of time, I can't read everything, you know. Then stay active, exercise regularly. One of the things I want you to go with from today's workshop is that you must have a plan of exercising your body daily. You must have a plan. Part of alarms I have on my phone is a daily time of exercise. And sometimes I just stay on a spot, a place that is well ventilated, and I run on a spot. And I set my phone. And I just keep doing that until the time is over. To make it like a daily. So I always tell people that little is better than none. You may not be able to get 1 hour of running around your house. Or someone might say, where I live, there's no compound, there's no. But even if you come to your corridor, or you are living in a place that is well ventilated and you move close to the window, you can exercise your body, or you can come out of your room, exercise your body. So part of what I want us to go with is, you know, maybe set alarm on your phone at a particular time that can give you, if it is 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you know, you exercising your body. Just exercise your body. So stay active, exercise regularly. Then get quality sleep. Get quality sleep. Dr. Fisayo Elugbadebo, I felt that I needed to listen to her before the workshop. So I had to, you know, spend time to hear, you know, another, because we need a lot of inspiration, and I got a lot of inspiration from the things that she said. And one of the things that she said is that everybody need at least 6 hours sleep. And when she said it, you know, the people were shouting, because I think that there are people that they stay up late into the night. Lagos, we all know our lifestyle is in Lagos. You know, they stay up late in the night and wake up very early. So when she said 6 hours, they shouted. I was like, what's big deal in 6 hours? Maybe because I'm not in Lagos. But she said that everybody needs that to be healthy. And she also made reference to which, you know, is an area that I've also talked about in time past. That you stay up late in the night, you work till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and in the day, you are still active. So how do you fulfill that law? So the body is not phone. Do you know that even your phone should be sleeping? And my phone goes off maybe 2 a.m. and comes up 6 a.m. It's just there. It has time, it goes off. If you use a device and it never has a time, thank God for Nigeria that batteries go up. People will say the phone is there, the phone is there. I say stop using that word. The phone is there. How should we say it? I'll say you can say your battery is off. Which one is? I say nothing around you should be dead. So, but thank God that there is a system like that will not supply energy for 24 hours. Otherwise, people will use phone 24 hours. So for some people, that's not the only opportunity their gadgets has to. Even some people laptop don't rest. When they are not using it, is on sleep or hibernated. So devices should be switched off at some point. How much more body? You know, during sleep, body repairs itself. So when the quality of sleep is bad, the repair that's supposed to take place, generation of new cells, it will not take place. And instead of that, diseases will be developing in the body. So we shouldn't see sleep as, you know, a lazy man's, what do we call it, habits. Like, look at him, he's still sleeping. it is wisdom to sleep and to have enough sleep for the body. Part of the mandate that God gave to man is that one day in a week man should rest. But today we live in a modern society that if you tell somebody that actually I don't go out on Thursdays, I rise, the person just sees you as you are lazy. You want to have money and you want to be imbibing this kind of a lifestyle. But some people have money today, but they don't have health. Because when they should have used natural laws that should have helped them, they were just pursuing money. So we need quality sleep. We can come up with questions during question and answer time. I won't be able to touch, more than this on that. Then stay hydrated. I said that some times ago. Then avoid extreme calorie cuts. I think I'm adding fats. I don't want to be eating again. I will just take one slice of yam and that will be okay for me. You can't just, you understand? So that's what they're saying. Avoid extreme calorie cuts or long time fasting. What does it do? It leads to it slows metabolism, fat storage. Sorry please. It slows metabolism, fat storage. What does that mean? The body keeps energy in case food remains scarce. So when you stay away from eating, some people, they will package their breakfast too. Particularly some married men, their wives will package their breakfast, and this is 4 p.m. That breakfast is still inside that flask. They've not opened it and they are walking. And sometimes I'll be like, can you take your car out without fuel, without oil, without water? How come you are doing your body like this? Your body is more important than your car. How come you are using energy that you did not put? Breakfast is still in the flask. So when such things happen, the signal that is sent to the body is that food is scarce. Famine is about to take place. So body begins to, because metabolism takes place 24 hours, body begins to do some things. They said the body keeps energy in case food remains scarce. So body's like, food is scarce, so let me keep. So it won't supply adequate energy that the body can need for certain things. It will, because it's trying to conserve it, reduces muscle mass by breaking down muscle to use protein for energy to preserve vital organs. So even the protein inside the bones, the body will be, it will break it down and then begin to use it. That's why sometimes some people are eating and they are growing lean. What may be happening to them may be something related to this. He said reduces muscle mass by breaking down muscle to use protein. So if there are people that are used to, I don't feel like eating. If you don't feel like eating, first of all, know that there's a problem. And if there's a problem, find a way. Either you are able to get a good vitamin B complex. You understand? Or you eat food, a lot of like oranges, all those things that can awaken your appetite. But don't just see it as I'm becoming more spiritual. If my body is not needing food. Wow. If you deprive the body of food, it's going to affect the immunity of the body. And by the time the body begins to give you some sign, you will wish you didn't. So a lot happens when we deny our body of food or we go into long fasting, without without balance. Let me put it that way. Let's go to the next slide. We need to start wrapping up now. So now, part of the things that should feature regularly in our diet should be whole grain. And this whole grain is also now going to bring us into doing a little research on white flour. Now, this is wheat, as it were. What is inside a whole grain? We have three things. We have bran, that's the skin or the outer layer. We have what again? Jam. Look at the other side, away from the image. We have jam. The jam is the seed. How many people everybody, you are familiar with corn or bean? There is a small part for bean is at the side of the bean. For instance, if it is white bean, you will see it can look dark a bit. Then there is the cover that sometimes we peel off when we are doing moi moi and we are doing akara. So that means it's also possible that our moi and our akara, we are just using only the endosperm. The endosperm is the flesh. And what did they say about it? Mostly starch and then some protein. Provides energy and some protein. 8 to 15% per wheat grain. Let's go to bran and read about it. High in fiber, vitamins and minerals, aids digestion, regulates blood sugar, supports heart health. Then for jam, rich in vitamins, healthy fat, protein and minerals, support growth, repair, metabolism, brain. So now, when, for instance, when people peel off the cover of a whole grain, it affects the bran, it affects the jam, and you are just left with endosperm. When we make pap, and we soak our pap, guinea corn or corn, and when we are sieving it, we go and look for cloth sieve that we harvest everything we call chaff. What we are calling chaff comprises of the bran and the jam, and only leave for us endosperm. You are just feeding on, what did they say it has? Mostly starch. The minerals, the vitamins in that grain is all gone. So we need to, there are so many things that we were raised with. You know, there's a Yoruba adage that says that when a child is raised, the child will also now re-raise himself. I don't want to put it in Yoruba because I believe so many people are connected that may not understand Yoruba. You don't just say, this is the way, this is the way I'm, this is the way. You think about that raising. For instance, if you are raised with pap, has to be, you want to make the pap, you pour the hot water and the rice, and you don't need to return it to it. For me, it used to be like that. I was raised that way. But I don't make pap that way again because I don't sieve my pap with cloths such that most of the, what we call chaff, is harvested. I don't sieve my pap. And because I don't sieve my pap with cloths, it makes the pap to still have some bran, some jam. So when you pour hot water, it will not rise. So you have to put it on it. Someone will say, no. Some people say, but you are just being economical. No, it's not just being economical that you want the pap to be more. You want your food to still have some measure of what you call chaff. Because what we call chaff is not really chaff. What we are calling chaff is the cover that is high in fiber, vitamins and minerals. That's the bran. What we are calling chaff is bran and jam. So let's look at that picture. We can see the bran, the outward layer. We can see the jam towards the side. Then we can see the endosperm. Because of time, I have to, proceed. Only bran, let's look at the last statement. Only bran and jam contain more protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Only bran and jam. Converting whole wheat to white flour. Are we ready? Yes. So to convert whole grain, when you take whole grain, you have the bran, you have what again? You have the jam and you have the endosperm. Every grain is meant to be whole grain. I just gave example about pap, maybe corn or guinea corn and all that, and a few other grains that we use. The same thing for beans. That means part of the mindset that we have growing up is when you want to make moi moi, you soak it, you peel it. Now when you peel, the chaff comes out. Do you still used to see like a tiny under the water? That is the jam. The jam is the small, like when you are washing beans, you soak the beans, you peel it. By the time one bean parts into two, you see the two parts and you see something small. If it's a white beans, whitish, that is the jam. So you wash everything away and then you just take the endosperm, you grind it and it comes out fine. Moi fine akara. So there are just some things that you have to sit down by knowledge. Hey, what if I soak my beans, I wash it, I pick it, I wash it, I soak it, and I grind it that way? I've tried it several times and it works. If it's not going to, somebody might say, I tried that with white beans and it turned black. Then leave the white beans alone. There's a beans we call milk beans, light red. I think even oloyin can work. What we call honey bean, but more of that milk bean. You pick it, you wash it, You know, with water, you soak it. When it is soft, you add your onion, add everything and grind it. You will not know that you did not remove the the cover, the outer layer. You will not know. So it means that when you cook it that way, it's more nourishing for the body than the one that you wash everything off. So let's go to converting all wheat to white flour. I should begin to, wrap up. It goes through cleaning. What's the second thing? Or conditioning, adding moisture and rest the grain to toughen the bran, so that they'll be able to remove it. Then the third stage is breaking or break rolls, crushing the grain to separate what? Then what? Sieving, separating endosperm particles from bran and jam. So they are going to just assessing that endosperm only. Endosperm. Now look at this image. You will see all grain, then you see refined grain. Can you see that refined grain does not have that darker part again? It's just one color now that refined grain has. Can you see it? So now number 4. I think we've read number 4. Number 5 now. What can you find? Grinding the endosperm into fine flour. Then 6. What can you see? Improving flour whiteness and restoring. They say restore nutrient loss. But part of the research I made says that it's not all the nutrients that they are able to restore. And even when they want to restore it, they will use artificial UPFs. Yes, they use artificial vitamin E, artificial vitamin D, artificial, that has their own side effects. Now, methods of flour bleaching. We have chemical bleaching agents and we have natural aging methods. So that means it's not everywhere in the world that when you pick up flour, it went through chemical bleaching. Are you with me? Yes. Now, for chemical bleaching, we have benzoyl peroxide, chlorine gas or chlorine dioxide. Then we have azodicarbonamide. Are we together? Yes, ma'am. They use it in order to convert, wheat. When you grind wheat in its old state, it is brown. So in order to convert it to white, they remove the what? The bran, the jam, leaving endosperm. But even after grinding endosperm, it's still going to give you a brown color. Then they will now bleach it. Now, natural aging methods. Historically, flour was allowed to age naturally. They call it oxidation of carotenoid pigments that gives a whiter color. They just leave it. Modern milling mostly uses chemical agent because natural aging is what? Slow. So that means many of the things we eat, they try to do things against nature because they feel nature is slow. So it means the color of flour can improve by itself, can reduce in reddish color or brown color to white if it is left. But they said that natural aging is slow. Common European practices. Most white flour is made by what? Mechanical milling and sifting. Flour may be naturally aged. Some countries may enrich flour with vitamins and iron, but chemical bleaching is minimal or what? Prohibited. In Europe, white flour is mostly unbleached or naturally whitened, unlike the US, where chemical bleaching is more common. Commercial Nigerian mills involve cleaning, grinding, sifting, bleaching, and packaging. Purpose: bleaching produces a lighter, more consistent flour preferred for many bakery products like cakes and pastries. It helps achieve desired baking properties and makes the flour more suitable for commercial baking. So most of the things we eat, they are made from white flour. White flour seems to dominate majority of our food, not just bread. Even when we talk about spaghetti in Nigeria, spaghetti is made from white flour. So some people say, thank God, it is Indomie they say we should not eat, it's not spaghetti. What if you make your own spaghetti? You process your own flour and you make your own spaghetti, and it is easy to make spaghetti. And sometimes they make spaghetti, you roll it out. If you've seen a chin-chin cutter before, the smaller part is the one that cuts out spaghetti. You roll it out. Some people cook it as without even drying it, and some dry it. Because the spaghetti that they make, they are making from white flour. that has gone through all these processes, and we can see chemical, you know, chemical bleaching agents. Nigeria and many other countries use, but there are some countries that chemical bleaching is prohibited. So why would those countries prohibit the use of chemical? Because they are concerned that it can affect the health. Today we live at a time when so many people, even people that do not know, they have growths of different kinds in their bodies. You understand? Sometimes when patients or people go to doctors, they tell them things like, you know, stop carbonated drinks, stop eating snacks and all those things. They tell them some things. So how come they are connecting all those those kind of food to growth? And I knew of a case of a lady that, you know, was supposed to even go for surgery for fibroid and all that, and then she just changed her diet, you know, wiped off carbonated drinks, because carbonated drinks has gas that also feed growth, then cut off white flour product and all that, and the thing started shrinking. I'm not saying that if somebody has fibroid, the person should just say diet. You know, some fibroids are large that the doctors will say this thing has to be removed as soon as possible, but some are not, that diet can easily control. But I'm just saying that part of what I believe we should remove from our diet is white flour products. And then some people will say that I don't eat it, I only eat it once in a while. I was asking my daughter, I said, you know, oftentimes we say once in a while. I said, let's define the once in a while. I said, once in a while, is it maybe there are 6 people in that family, and every time somebody does a bad day, you go out and you eat all manner of things. I said, then that makes it 6 times in a year. That is once in a while. I said, some people once in a while can be once a week, and once a week makes it 52 times in a year. And some people once in a while can be twice in a week. When I began to narrow it down to twice in a week, the look on her face is like, it's getting close. Because for many adolescents, their once in a while is 2 times in a week. I said 2 times in a week is not once in a while. So I don't really take carbonated drink except sometimes when I feel off. Let's define that sometimes. It can be twice in a week or once in a week. Once in a week is 4 times in a month. And then 4 times 52 in a year. So every time we try to excuse ourselves, you know, that I'm permitted, it's just once in a while. Ask yourself that, when was the last time you took this thing? I think I took it 2 weeks ago. Okay, before that 2 weeks ago, I think so this month alone, 4 times or 5 times. That's not once in a while. If we have to take these things, once in a while can be once in 3 months or once in 6 months. Or when you go somewhere. You know, I've said it before that part of the instructions that God gave to man is that He will bless our bread and our water. And there are things that are in that category of bread and water. The only thing God will bless are the things that He sees as bread and He sees as water. If you go and carry things that are not in that record, you're on your own. And then another condition that God gave, and that condition He placed if. You know, He said, if you take up anything poisonous, it will not hurt you. He did not say when. So if you take anything poisonous, could be you are somewhere, you went for a conference, there's no food, there's no, you understand, and the only thing that is served is bread, white bread and something, and you eat it. That still, you are still covered. There's a grace that covered you, because it is if. Someone say, hey, are you not saying white bread is poisonous? Well, I am not saying white bread is poisonous. But if we are able to see how it is produced, and we can see that the difference between whole grain and refined grain, you know, I think that knowledge should set us free. There are some things that are poison that when people take, immediately they die. But there are some things that are poisons that it will take 10 years before the body will die. So you can't say that, hey, are you not calling poison? Whatever has a potential to hurt the body on the long run is also poison. Okay, so where are we now? Continents that ban or accept chemical bleaching. Let's look at it. For those who are for North America, parts of Asia, Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East generally allow chemical flour bleaching under regulation. Then those who are against, Europe, Oceania, in bracket, Austria, not Austria, Australia, New Zealand, tend to restrict or ban these bleaching chemicals in flour production. The question is, why the restrictions? Food for thought. Why? Why would continents like Europe, and countries like Australia, New Zealand, and a few others, why would they ban the use of bleaching, flour with chemicals, bleaching chemicals in flour production? So we shouldn't just say, no big deal, Joe. No big deal, Joe. Why the restrictions? So I believe that this should be part of decisions we make. Just always look for alternative. And the alternative, I think one of the things that Dr. Fisayo Elugbadebo also mentioned, she was talking about bread. And she was saying when you put, I wasn't there, but at least I had. So I could only imagine what she meant. That when bread is drawing like this, she's talking about bromate. And people shouted, oh, you buy bread and you're able to press it. You put what they call burger. Our own African burger, you're able to put akara or something inside it and you press it together. And she said bread in its original form cannot be torn, tear. You can't tear it. You can't. Sometimes ago, a woman, we were just in the car and she said something. She said that was why they called it breaking of bread, because it's meant to be broken. That is not tearing of bread. And I'm talking about the bread. So original bread is, you have to break it. You cannot tear it. If you press it, you cannot press. So when you choose to use all grain for some of these things, you will find out that it will look like something, what is this? You can't compare it to how, a refined bread made from refined flour we look like, or cake made from refined flour, it will look like. But I think it is good we make a decision on eating healthy, so that it will not look like we are sowing seed little by little, bad seed. If they put a bottle of a drink, a big bottle, maybe 5-liter jerry can, and they said it has some poison in it, and somebody is drinking it, once in a week, and then in 5 years he finishes drinking it, will that thing hurt the body or not? It's just like the time is longer. Somebody carry it in its concentrated form and drink it, and in 1 week dies. But somebody takes this little by little, and in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. So we need to be aware of all these things. Now let's look at one of the issues we can have has to do with our taste bud. For instance, I talked about salt, and I want every one of us to act on that. Even if what you are using is Himalayan salt, I want us to act on it, on how we can cut down our salt. So we need to look at taste bud regeneration, because part of the issues that people can have, we are almost done. Part of the issues that people can have is, it's not easy, it's not sweet. Oh, what kind of punishment is this? The issue is with the taste bud. So taste buds are tiny sensory organs on the tongue. Everybody open your tongue. So you have a lot of taste buds on your tongue, not just one, with a lifespan of about how many days?
10 to 14 days.
That your taste bud changes. For me, that's good news. That everybody's taste bud can change in 10 days or in 14 days on the average. It means physically our taste bud never our taste buds renew roughly every 2 weeks. So that's good news. So that means I can easily change my diet, since my taste bud naturally renew themselves every 2 weeks. Taste buds are mainly on the tongue, the tip, the side, the back, but some are also found in the soft palate, throat, and at the upper esophagus. Changing taste preferences, even though the cells regenerate quickly, changing what you perceive as tasty takes longer. This is not a good news. This is the part of it that is not good. I wish you can also change in 2 weeks. They say it can take longer. what you like, what your mouth has been used to. That me, I have never taken gari or taken something in my life without sugar. How will I? It can be a burden for a man. But as you are thinking about the body, just think about the alternative. I found out that most of these foods that don't nourish the body, for instance, white salt is sold for maybe 200 naira or 300 naira or 400 naira. I don't know how much they sell the biggest pack versus Himalayan salt. A bottle of Himalayan salt currently is 6,500, even from the source, as it were. So if you're buying it and you're reselling it, then how much will you sell it? So now compare 6,500 or more to something you buy for 500 naira. You know, if you buy some products that they made from maybe old grain and you buy the one that is refined, the refined is cheaper because it is industrial production. So, or you say, I don't want to do white sugar is also cheaper. You can buy a bag. But you can't buy 50 liter of original honey. You will spend a lot. Also, you want to buy 2 bags of palm dates. You spend a lot of money. So reducing, I'm on the fourth point now. Reducing salt. So that means part of our instructions for this year should be, I must reduce salt. Not reduce sugar, replace sugar. Reducing salt, replacing, I'm not compromising it. I'm not compromising it at all. Replacing sugar, reducing salt. You know, you can replace your salt too if your salt is white. Reducing salt, replacing sugar or caffeine. Your taste bud may start noticing subtle flavors within 2 to 4 weeks. It's not 3 months now. 2 to 4 weeks, but full adaptation can take up to 2 to 3 months. But wait, there's still hope that within 3 months, if my mouth is used to Maggi, within 3 months, I can successfully come out of it. What's the summary? Physically, taste buds regenerate every 2 weeks, but changing your taste preferences usually take weeks to months of consistent exposure. We are getting close to the end of this discussion, and I hope that we've learned a lot. Let's see some popular quotes. You know, teach us to number our days, that what we may apply our heart unto wisdom. So, you know, the things we are talking about are things that can help us prolong our days. Numbering days is also, you are thinking about the things that can prolong days, and they see it as wisdom. Then wisdom gives life to them that have it. So those who are nonchalant, it means they are not wise. But those who are wise, we have wisdom as a fruit. Then we have God gives food or sustenance to all flesh, and indeed he has given. We are surrounded with all those things. We are surrounded with trees, we are surrounded with seeds, nuts, fruits, you know, and all that. Then I already mentioned this other part. Let's just go to the last slide. Call to action. So write a list of things to remove from your diet. Before you leave the workshop today, write a list of things you need to remove from your diet. Secondly, can we read it?
Make a list of things to add based on your body needs.
So make a list of things you need to add based on your body needs. Then we are going to create a WhatsApp group, but not for everybody. Only for those who are ready for accountability on their diet change and healthy eating. So if all the things that we have said, you are not convinced by them, you don't need to join. You know, on that WhatsApp group, everybody will tell us, for me, oh, it was like this before. You know, I found it difficult to stay away from this, but these are the attempts I've made, and although I failed once, but I'm back on it. We keep inspiring ourselves and encouraging ourselves until we get there as a follow-up to the workshop. So we don't just want it to be like, you have had everything, next 3 months, or at another time we come again, we hear again. We hear, we don't do, we hear. So that WhatsApp group is to be able to, from time to time, you know, ask people to talk. So person, can you talk to us on what you've done? And then there people can also maybe talk about, in fact, since I stopped this, I found out I started feeling better. Before now, I used to feel very tired, things like that. Or people can also ask that, what are the things I can eat if I want to maybe build blood, or things like that. So we're going to have that in response to this. I call it call to action, and that is the last slide. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a long time, 2 hours plus, but I think it is worth it. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, you take it over. Please let the next person go.
Okay, if we are doing that, can we do it very well? Can we say thank you, Dr. Precious? All right, I will be having question and answer. Please join me to welcome Mrs. Bimi Adeleye. Please.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Precious. That was an insightful session. And we just hope that we will make use of all these things and we will save. Like we do a lot, even to harness, things for our future. We also do this for our body. Thank you so much, ma. Okay, do we have any question? And those are online also. If you have any question, please, you can just, leave it on at the comment section of the YouTube. Yeah.
I need to take a little time to take something. So I don't know if it's possible for people to write their questions, or maybe we can just call on people to talk about areas that really touch them. While I just use few minutes to refuel, so that my metabolism can be good.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We can appreciate her again. Okay, maybe we should just, have a little interactive session whereby we can hear people out on how, this session had really
a continuation, because I started implementing some of the things. That was said today. So to be a continuation and an encouragement for me to keep the healthy journey going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's actually possible. We made a resolution not to use Maggi when we got married, and going to like 5 years more now, and we have not been on Maggi. So it is possible. If that is possible, reduction in salt too is possible. Can you tell somebody it is possible? It is possible. Okay, do we have any other person? As this is going on, we can just also write our questions. Let's write our questions out. Okay. Can we welcome Mr. Heise?
And now here, this is actually the word have much knowledge. Maybe that's how they just grew up, but okay, this is what now. I think.
For instance, Gabriel was saying he takes fruits regularly. That if we just walk up to, a fruit seller and sit with the man and take orange and take watermelon. And when he said that, I even learned something from it. Some of us, that you don't see yourself buying watermelon from any of those people, the one they already cut. I don't do such. In fact, my orange, you can't buy oranges that are already peeled for me. Because one, I will say that I don't know what they peeled. If the orange already had, is about getting spoiled, and because they just try to search for the ones that we almost go out, except if they just have an entirely new. So I have restrictions to that I don't want you to cut pineapple for me and I buy the one they've cut, or watermelon the one they cut, or orange the one they peeled. I like to just see what I want to buy. If it's pineapple, if it is coconut, I'm buying, not the one you have already cut. But what I learned is that somebody is nourishing his body and is increasing nutrition by just even being, how do I put it, being that, what's the word I can use? You know, you don't have so much of air around you. I'm not saying those of us that cannot go and buy watermelon they've caught have air. You understand? But I was just able to see how, in a simple way, somebody is nourishing the body. You just go and sit with a man, you a little gist, you know, if you're Hausa, you speak the Hausa, give me the one that is French, give me the one, and there's somebody that is sitting in his house or her house that, you know, it's like, me the whole watermelon, unless I can afford a whole coconut, unless I can afford, you know what I mean by a whole, the one they've not cut, unless I can afford a whole pineapple, and the person is there for weeks not eating anything, and then somebody is able to come so low in, maybe you already even have a friend that every time the person sees you as customer, because you always come around you. So I just cited that to let us know that it's not too expensive. It's not too expensive to live on a good budget. You know, sometimes people will also say, if you think it is expensive to live on healthy budget, think more about what it takes to get health. When health is when there is ill health, when a lot of people have been to hospitals and hospitals have sent them back and they are at home without treatment because they cannot afford it. You say, go and do this test, then they take it back. They say, which test is this? CT scan. And the person that is reading it opens the mouth. Do you know how much a CT scan is? Or they say MRI. Do you know how much MRI costs? Or they just write everything down, lipid profile, kidney function test. You buy oranges, maybe 200 naira. You know, some years ago, where I was working, I was transferred into another branch, and that branch, you know, there were a lot of fruit sellers, people that sell apples and all that. So one along the way, I just decided that my breakfast will be fruits. I don't know what inspired me, but I just decided that my breakfast will be fruits. Then anytime I get my salary, I will now remove 300 naira times 30 days from that salary. I said I will eat at least 300 naira fruits each day. Maybe then they were still selling apples for about 150 or something. So I will carve that out of my salary. I will put it in an envelope. And then I will go out when I get to work, drop my things, then go out to the junction, buy what will last me for 3 days, maybe like twice in a week. So I will buy those things and keep them in the office. So every day I get to the office, I wash, maybe it is apple and it is pear, I wash it, I eat it. I will go with food from home. But the food I went with, in my mind, is like, I'm not going to eat the food until like 12 or 1. But the first thing I take every day was that. So I had a plan on what I wanted to be spending each day, and then I will remove it from my salary and keep it. And the thing ran for months. Then I observed that I started feeling whole. You know, wholeness. It's like I wasn't having any complaint at all. I wasn't having maybe my body fatigue or nothing. You know, after a while, I just started feeling whole. So I was like, I see a lot of wisdom in this thing. There's a lot of wisdom in not just nourishing the body with cooked food. God didn't, it's not part of the mandate that every food that man eats has to be processed. It has to go through it. There's a lot of, I can't start the lecture all over again. There's a lot of issue we have today. Microwave. You see people want to eat something in microwave, they put it inside plastic, inside microwave. There are just some things that I would be like, well, this is simple. You went to school. Somebody does not need to teach you again that plastic reacts to it. You just put it in the heat. So a lot of things are wrong with the way we do things. So first of all, please overcome that mind of saying when one does not have. From the small budget that you have, the finances you have, carve out something. You can start with, if I can't eat it every day, although I feel that it is possible. It's possible you take maybe garden egg or orange. You first list fruits that are not expensive before you start thinking about later you will grow into being able to access, I want to buy strawberry, Oh, I've been seeing strawberry, but I don't even know how it tastes. You want to buy it. You grow into strawberry and all that later. But right, those ones that you can easily access, tangerine, garden egg, oranges, carrot. You can still buy 200 naira carrots, even if it is 2 pieces. You understand? You can still buy oranges, maybe 2 pieces for 200 naira. You can pick this and pick this. So let's overcome that budget can be an issue. Just if it is 300 naira, the point is, if you are not taking fruits, you are still spending money by eating, isn't it? Yes. You are still spending money. So don't see eating of fruit as luxury. It's like, I've taken my breakfast, I've taken my lunch. Fruit is addition. See fruit as one of the meals, and I think it is good for breakfast. It is good for breakfast. There are some fruits that can also be good for dinner, but it's not every fruit that is good for dinner. So it's good for breakfast, a lot of water and a lot of fruits and vegetables to enter the body, and not just fruit, vegetables, all those things, seeds, different things that we mentioned. What do we do about the scarcity or inaccessibility of some chemicals for our seasonings? What do we do? What do we do about the scarcity? I want it to be more scarce. I want it to be more inaccessible. If I want it to be very expensive, that a common man cannot access it. Because if the rich people are feeding on it, then they will have money to spend on ill health. So I didn't really get that question. What do we do about the scarcity or inaccessibility of some chemicals for our seasonings? But I think I understand what he's talking about. If it is for chemicals, I want it to be more scarce. I want it to be inaccessible. But if it is ingredients, you are talking about, that how to gather ingredients to make your seasoning, they are not inaccessible. If you buy a cup of crayfish, you can manage it if you're a single person for a week. Even people that are not single, that are married, when they buy things for a month, they partition it. This is for the week. Otherwise, you finish everything in 1 week or 2. They partition it. This is for a week. When you are done, you go to the store again, you measure out. I give instructions in my house. We bought this thing. Don't think we have bought it for 1 week. It's for the whole month. So measure what we need out each week. So they measure out. After the end of 1 week, they go back again, measure another out. So you can see that this is what we're supposed to use for this week. If you just put the entire month there and you live with many people, they will help you finish it in 1 week. And when it is done, everybody will be looking at. So we can plan. For a single person, you can plan that maybe 4 cups of crayfish for the month, and work with a cup. We are not expecting you to be cooking meal 3 times in a day. Do you understand? Salt, you can pair with someone to buy salt. We have said let's reduce amount of salt. So maybe I will still, because recently I was thinking about it, that when I started using Malayan salt, it was just like maybe less than 1.5, and that should be maybe 7 years ago or more. But now 6,500 to on wholesale. How much do you now want to sell to retail? I was like, why now? Why are they making this thing? But some, after my interactions with these things, I began to feel that maybe there's a good in it. The more expensive it is, the lesser we will buy, and the more we will reduce our use of it. So I want us to also overcome the mindset of it's safe, is a safer alternative. It's safer in a way, but it is still sodium. That if you keep consuming more than your body needs in a day, it can give body issues. It can give body disease. Because I also tried to research further on, do black people react to salt? And what I learned is black people react more to salt and sugar than white people. That our body is not made for salt. If ant is passing and you pour salt on it, how does it react? Salt is chemical. It's like you pour sodium. So how come the sodium is going inside our body and we are not thinking about, what it does? So I think I already answered you. Onions. If you want to cook without Maggi, it's very easy. I've been cooking without Maggi for up to 7 years. More, if I cast my mind back. Maybe 2017 or less, or earlier than that. So use a lot of onion, use crayfish, and what else? Some people use locust bean. I don't use locust bean for everything I do. I only use it for all those native soup and all that. I can't cook it's not everything I use locust bean for, but I observe that with onion, enough onion, pink salt, crayfish, my food comes out tasty. It comes out tasty. So those are the things that I feel I can mention. You can add a few other things. Stock. If you buy stock fish, you can use it in small portions. You don't like, these people have a lot of money. You see the way they are talking about stock fish. You can use it in small portions. You can buy something and manage it for, if it is a week or more, you want to use it. So everything is about planning. That's that. A list of natural spices to use to replace Maggi and salt in my diet. You should reduce salt. You should reduce salt. And we should also know that there are some natural food that we consume that already has sodium naturally. Like some of these fruits that we eat, they have a particular amount of sodium. So don't say, but body needs sodium. If you feed on all those vegetables, fruits, and some other things, some of them naturally have sodium in them. But sodium as per salt, we need to reduce it. Then, I think this question I already answered it from the last. To replace Maggi, onion. Put a lot of onion in your. Don't just cut onion into it. Grate the onion or blend the onion. Onion gives a lot of taste. Onion has a bit of a sweet taste. So use onion. Use salt. Himalayan salt is sweeter than white salt actually. So there's a way that it can give his own taste. But for now, if you cannot afford it, maybe you should just try to look for sea salt that is white, not the industrialized ones. You can look for sea salt that is white. It might be cheaper. But onion does a lot. Onion is top on the list in terms of giving taste to food. Onion is top on the list. There may be little crayfish. It's not crayfish for me. Onion is top on the list in terms of taste. I use enough onion on my food and it gives it good taste. Is eating fruits at night good? Like I said, some fruits are good for night, but there are some fruits that if you eat in the night, you will not sleep well. They push a lot of sugar into your body and all that. So fruits that have some fiber in them and that are alkaline in nature can be good for night. Not acidic fruits like oranges and all that. No. White flour for baking, is it the same used for swallow? Yes, some swallow. Some processed wheat flour can be, if it's coming from the industry, it may not be as old as the one that maybe you produce by yourself, or a company that processes it, because it has gone through some kind of, that's even for wheat. But there are some other flours that we use for swallow that are originating from white flour, and I think semo is also in that category. Originating from white flour. Wheat is processed in a way, and we have a semo brand, Semo Vita brand, that is creamy a bit. Then we have another brand that is semolina, that is whitish a bit. Some of us, in those days, I used to really like semolina because I like, it's so white, but it's all deception. Whatever they used to make flour white is also what they used to make that thing white. So it's better that you just think about processing these things by yourself, or buy from companies that they are health conscious. They are not just producing for making money, but they are producing, to improve people's health. I don't know what plain meat is, ma. What is insulin? Well, you can actually search on your phone insulin. They use insulin for people with diabetes. What I refer to, are adolescents or children with type 1 diabetes that their body can only survive on insulin each day. So those are medications and all that doctors give them to help the sugar level, to regulate it, and that without it they cannot survive. Plain meat. I don't know what you mean by plain meat. Lean. Is it lean? Lean meats are meats that are not fatty, like free range animals that walk about. They are not. Cow also walk about, but cow is very fat too. Cow is very fat, and sometimes when you feed so much on red meat, it can also affect your hormones. It can lead to hormone imbalance. Somebody told me, a woman, some months ago, he said, I was not having blood pressure until, that she worked in a place where a boarding house, and they were killing cow every week, and then plenty meat coming to her every week. And then when people are there, they think that they are enjoying. That it was after that time that our body started developing blood pressure. So it can affect hormone. It can lead to hormone imbalance. It can sometimes, like they talk about cows that are breastfeeding and all that, they secrete estrogen in excess and some other hormones that, and you are feeding on their product. So there are so many things. For adults generally, they discourage feeding so much on meats, particularly red meats. They discourage it. Another concern is it stays longer in the body to digest, and sometimes the older people get, the lower their the lower their maybe metabolism rate or digestion capacity. So you want them to just go on food that their body can easily digest, because their activity level also decreases. So it's not like a youth that is very active. Some people say, nothing, we'll burn it. Many years ago, I remember one night like that, we were coming from conference and we got to maybe past 12 and we started cooking. And what were we cooking? Beans. And my mom-in-law was around. She said, like, you guys are just about cooking to eat. I said, yes, ma. He said, what are you cooking? He said, I said, mommy, we will burn it. It will be burn it. Is it not we will burn it? Later, I was now casting my mind back to those days. What did you eat that time, Ghana? Like, Jeyo, that gave you such. Because we can't try those things. Not just now, even 10 years back, we can't try those things again. To be eating beans 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. But when maybe some youths are still doing it. So, whatever the body can digest, you can eat on it. But I also believe that how meat is processed also matters. Fried fish and fried fish stay longer in the stomach to digest than the ones that are cooked. And hardly do we see youths that like cooked, like, chicken, this is chicken. No, I'm just referring to somebody, because I just remember the conversation. What of the one they fried? I don't want the cooked one. What of the one they fried? Say, go and ask them now. They should still have the one that is fried. So that's a youth for you. There's a way sweet and fried things stay in the mouth, but they stay longer in the stomach. So I think I already touched these two. That's all that I have here. Is there anybody? But after this, let's just go to the next to save time. You said you will show us what an healthy plate is. That's it now. So this plate, we can see half of the plate, vegetables. What did I say? Vegetables. Half. Then a quarter, carbs. Then the other quarter of the plate, protein. This one is not showing so much of protein, but one is supposed to be protein. Okay, one is protein, they put egg, different things. Then half is vegetables. But I can imagine what our plates look like in Nigeria. Our plate is 80% grain, maybe rice, jollof rice, 80%, and then 10% protein. Hardly will you see vegetables. Maybe just 20% protein, 80% carb. So it's not eating healthy. It's not eating healthy. Okay. So I think I have touched that also. How can I reduce the use of the popular Nigerian seasoning, considering that I stay with many other persons that do not support this my decision? Then you have to cook differently. You cannot impose your belief on somebody. You understand? You have to cook differently. When I started moving away from the use of certain things, I didn't impose it. I was only cooking differently. But when they started eating the food I cook, everybody started following me. Especially for people that are married, you can't impose it. And yet you can't say you will continue to eat something that you believe is affecting you if your spouse is not convinced about it. Make your spouse's food and then make your own food also. Then after a while, when your spouse say, yeah, let me even taste that, oh, this thing is sweet, oh, that's how you win. Your children too. Though it's easy to convince children to follow you if they are young. But if they are adolescents, let them cook something for them. Then let them, over time they will say, let me taste your food. How did you make this food this sweet now? Have I not been telling you? So that's how you win everybody. So if you are living with others and they don't believe in it, you have to discuss it. Yeah, sisters or brothers, I don't want to be using Maggi to eat again. Please, can you permit me to be, maybe others are cooking and you make a cup of rice or a cup of beans or something. With time, they will start joining you. They will say, no, don't cook differently now. Don't cook differently. Okay, do you understand? So you can't impose it, but be bold enough to take a step to. How do I convince my mom and siblings to stop eating Indomie? Recently, I saw a news on a brand of Indomie. I don't know if it is Indomie at large or a brand that was banned. A flavor, maybe vegetable flavor or something. So the same thing, we read about countries and continents that place the ban on use of chemical bleaching agents. And I said food for thought. Those countries that banned it, what did they see? There's something they see that others are not seeing or others are shunning. So if they ban a brand of Indomie, it's still a kind of food for thought. And for many years now, people have been talking about people should move away from it. So how do I convince my mom and my siblings to stop eating Indomie? Encourage them to go for maybe a mild health check. Like, mommy, when last did you check your sugar level? Do you check your blood pressure regularly? Whoa, but mommy, I think it's good though. She shun you. Come back at another time. Then one day, when she makes up her mind, you can say, I will follow you. Let them check her blood sugar level. Let them check her blood pressure. Let them check maybe lipid profile and a few others. The result will convince them. The result will convince them. And not only your mommy, even your siblings. I showed you charts of people below 20 and the number of people being affected. They say 2.1 billion. 2.1 billion is not small. It's not small of adolescents. What if we had adults to that? Are we now saying that up to half of the population of the world, they have diseases in their body? So how do I convince, I think I've read at the other part, she has it as a meal on the roster, as one of the meals of the week. You will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Try to send information to her. Like all this, if it's like, yeah, I went for a workshop, they say, which workshop? Enter WHO. Research findings on this. Copy it out, send it. Mommy, did you read that thing I sent to you? I read it. And what about it? Mommy, did you see the number of people that have been affected by preventable, non-communicable diseases? Mommy, we need to change you. And mommy, did you see the risk factors? Did you see that they also put unhealthy diet? So what is unhealthy diet? Some of these things we are eating, they are unhealthy. So you keep sowing the seed, because for you to even say your mommy, it makes it more dangerous because of age. Some adults just come down with certain diseases suddenly. Just sudden. The thing has been in their body, but they are not aware. Some years ago, when I was doing my master's, one of I think that was the director of the center, she's a prof, told us how she escaped diabetes narrowly. That she was just feeling somehow. She said, let me go to hospital. And she went to hospital and they checked her sugar level. And the thing was almost passing that threshold. That they said, it was God that saved you. And right there, she changed her diet. She's in her 70s now and I believe she's healthy. So some people, the thing is already at that threshold of crossing from normal to abnormality, and they will not do any test, they will not take any caution, and then once the thing cross, they will not sit all their life. So it's even very dangerous. Now we are learning that it's not only adults that these things are dangerous for. If young people are also coming down with things, then everybody needs to beware. I think I've touched all the questions. What's next on the list? Okay, please do. I need somebody to help us with time.
My question is...
The agenda, what do we still have?
I want you to advise me personally and my other, maybe juniors. We have so many food scientists, maybe in the church itself. And what we consider as excellence, as it were some of the things you already brought here, the processed foods, they were excellence on our own. Food that are used with maybe microwave, they are excellence on our own side. When we're talking about ingredients, the chemicals, we have European Union limits, we have American standard limits. So to us, we knew, okay, when we produce this thing and you see the name, to us, we said, no, you can take it because we use the standard limit. So what can you advise? Meanwhile, we also want people to be healthy. We are not just studying as a BSc graduate, we want to go for masters, we want to be excellent and all. What can you advise us, in these healthy things? Meanwhile, all the things you've mentioned here, they were the things that are usually counted to, to say we are standing out. In school, when our lecturers were teaching us, some of them, they don't consume it, but they are teaching us. They don't consume it, but they are saying this is it, monosodium, they are saying all of this, it has this, but they won't do it. And meanwhile, when we are doing our own project, our own thing is let's mix, join. Sorry, lastly, when we're talking on monosodium glutamate, and I said it was excellent on our own side, we got all of those things from food, but maybe to the minimum, to the atomic level. That's where we got all of those things. And when we use it, to us, we say these are functional foods. We sell it to people, maybe in the food industry, take this, it will enhance texture, it will enhance flavor. So what do you advise now? We want to do food chemistry, we want to do food microbiology, but it's not looking...
Well, it looks generic, that I'm just trying to look at from which angle can I attend to it. The facts, all these research findings are showing us that there is something that the world is not doing right. And for people that are like sustainable development goals, are goals that relate to every aspect of the society. They have goals that are related to health. This is 2026 and they set those goals for 2030. And part of the concerns in their mind is the goals they set 2015 to be achieved by 2030 or before 2030. And this is 4 years to 2030, and they can see that many of those goals are not achieved yet. Rather than the burden of non-communicable diseases is not the only category of disease, but that's just like a category that in a way is treatable, in a way. Rather than the burden reducing, there are several burdens. In fact, there's what they call double burden of malnutrition. And double body of malnutrition is overnutrition and undernutrition. You be like, can somebody be overnourished? Yes. There can be excess of sodium, like excess of sodium is overnutrition, excess of iron in the body, excess of all those vitamins and minerals, there can be excess. And so part of the troubles they are having in the world is body, in some parts, body is being overnourished, overnutrition, that is leading to overweight, obese, and all that. Then they have undernutrition, that body is not having the right amounts of all those nutrients. So there is a lot of body health-wise. Go to pharmacy, go and see the queues. Go to hospital, look at people's faces. Some just lost their loved ones. You go to children world, go to world for adolescents, go to adult world. So we have a need, and the earlier we realize that we have need. When I was reading some of these things, I was just like, God, we need you. I was just looking at humanity, that how did we get here? I was just looking at it, that how did we get here? And everything looks as if we are caged. Like, it's not everybody that is caged though, but you just look as if you are caged, because everything that you know, let me put it this way, there is a kind of walking away from natural laws. I read for us that when flour is processed, it can be whitened through natural process, but they believe that natural process is slow. So there are so many departure from natural laws. Even the things that are being grown, they don't want it to go through. If this thing is supposed to be mature in 9 months, they will do research on how can it be ready in 3 months. Everything is breaking natural laws. So sometimes you have a lot of arguments, discussions. Some are for, some are against. But I think the bottom line should be, what is the effect? If you say that ultra processed food or even processed food, it's not every processed food that is good, because foods are processed the same way. You can eat in your house, and what you are eating, like I said, is junks, and it can hurt your body if you continue to load your body with food and the food is not nourishing the body. Because after the food is broken down, certain nutrients are supposed to be, the body is supposed to remove the nutrients, absorbed into the body. It should serve the body, then the remaining pass out as waste. But when you eat, for instance, amala, and then a efori, and the amala, the process of making it already depleted all the nutrients in it because of it, from top to finish. Eat. You cut the yam, you put it in hot water. That's local way of doing it. I don't know industrial way of doing it, but I believe everything is heat. Hot water, you bring it out, you put it in heat again to get dry. Eat. Either intense heat to dry it in few hours, or many days heat to dry it. Then you subject it to grinding, then you boil water, you put it. So eat. Depleted the carbohydrates in it and any other nutrient that is in it. So that is on your plate now. Then you did a efori, and then or okra, and you place okra, some of them, those vitamins in them, if you subject them to it for 5 minutes, they are all gone. And then you put the okra, you keep stirring, and just like, is it not okra? Is it not okra that can boil in 15 seconds, and you pull it down? So when we put food in the body, heavy meal, oily food and all that, food that is high in sodium, and body cannot get nourishment, or body is only getting 10% nourishment, the rest is waste, then there's no way that the body will not be affected. So it's not so much of how can we convince the world. There are things that are already convincing the world. People see going back to doing things the natural way as backward. You understand? And are you now saying that before I can have access to flour, I have to process it myself? Well, that's not what we are saying. But what if you are engaging people that you know they are not into industrial production? They just produce for maybe households, because there are people like that their business is only servicing household. Their business is not servicing the whole nation. Do you understand? So what if, and if you have the time to do it yourself, do it yourself. But if you can't do it yourself, then what if you? So I don't have so much of arguing and saying this finding shows that this because in academic you will see a lot of arguments. You say Adeniro 2023 argued that he brought out these findings. He conducted it on a set of rats that they use that thing to feed, and the rats are flourishing. You will see another research finding that we say so person is so, because that's all that happens in research. You see a group of people that are for that thing, then you see a group of people that have also did research that are against it. But so I just feel that if we look at the burden of disease in the world and the trouble that even the health system cannot manage it all over the world, globally, Asia, many places, then we will know that we are not doing some things right. You said that your lecturers will teach you something, but they themselves, they are not eating it. So why are they not eating it? Why are they not eating it? I feel that food, this aspect of food, for me, it looks more like a kind of idol that people don't want you to touch. And sometimes if you touch it, it's like, maybe that is your own opinion. But for me, I see it as every man sowing and waiting for a time of harvest. And I can only reap what I sow. I'm not going to reap what you sow. Everybody's going to reap what he sows. Do you understand? So I just feel sure that you may not be able to convince everybody, but when you are convinced, there are people that from your field, they've moved into what do I call it now? All these naturopathy, not just Abacare. Abacare is just an aspect of that. They moved into that, healthy eating and all that. So it's not everybody that is still following the conventional way of doing things. So you may not be able to convince everybody. You understand? There will be a lot of arguments. But the reality shows that there are things that the world is doing wrong, and food, food or drink is a major source. When God was talking about blessing, what did he say? You will serve the Lord your God. He will bless your bread and your water. So everything we eat and drink is summarized as bread and water. And I will take sickness away from the midst of you. So let's imbibe. Let's not depart totally from natural laws. When people depart totally from natural laws and they cast off restraints, they eat the fruits. And I feel that those who are really at the front of all these conversations on healthy living are even medical doctors, because they have seen so much. They have seen so much. They have seen so much. They have seen lives lost. They have seen so many terrible things that have happened. So I don't know if my words did not sound like preaching. It's not easy actually, yeah? Please read it. Please let me pass it. So this time of question needs to come to an end so that we can go to the next. Please remove it from the table.
Please, ma, is sodium bicarbonate healthy inside the wedu?
Well, they are all in the categories of additives. So as much as possible, we should reduce them to barest minimum. And if we have alternatives, some of the people that have established businesses in the area of healthy eating is in the bid to provide an alternative. You understand? It's in the bid of, okay, if we want to cook ewedu, they say that ewedu does not soften without adding, what can we add apart from? So as you wait on that, you get a breakthrough. As you get the breakthrough, that forms a business. Other people too that have that desire will start patronizing you. Do you understand? So I can't say it's part of additives, but sometimes we still use it. We started with using, what's the English of corn? Potash, and later they said potash is not good, this and that. Then later people moved to bicarbonate of soda. Is that what the person is asking? Yes. Bicarbonate of soda. But I can't say that it is. They are all in the category of additives. We should reduce the use, and we should be looking for better alternatives to them, natural ways of softening ewedu. Somebody may say, that's easy now, just use this, use that. Please, if you have that knowledge, please sell it to us. We will buy. So I think we are good with question and answer, isn't it? Yes. Can we have the next? And I think that's the last on the list. Oh yeah, who is coordinating it?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Precious, for the enlightenment. Okay, we are moving now to quiz session. Yes, there will be quiz, and we will be having 3 groups. So for the online participants, we're having quiz which involve the on-site participants. Okay, so for we on-site participants, I want us to take number 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So by that, okay, we have, I think there's someone there. 2, okay. 3. 3, okay. That's all. Okay, all ones. Can we be here? All ones.
Are you one? Because of the camera, you can't come to the side. Are you one? Please, can you join the other one? If you are not one,
Okay.
please go to the second line.
Then 2s. Let's be here. 2 at the center, then 3 at the back. Okay, you are 2s. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, we have 50 questions. Yes, but it's not exhausting it. Yes, we'll just have 5 rounds. I want the participant to hear me. Okay, we should have something. Okay. Okay, I have with me Mrs. Oluyede for the yes.
So this is group what?
1. Will it be convenient for you to answer questions? Okay. So we have 2. So we have group 3.
No, not the front. The second line. 2, then group 3 at this side.
Okay. Each question carries 5 marks, and each question have 2 options. Okay, 10 marks. Wow. Okay, ma. Each question carry 10 marks. No room for bonus. Is either you get it or you miss it. So, and once one group pick a number, that number is out. So you pick another number. So I think that's the rule with the quiz. So can we have group 1? What number? Okay, you'll be having 30 seconds to answer the question. So Mrs. Oluyede, please, ma, you help me with time. Okay, question 2. Okay, group 1P, question 2. I read. Which vitamin is mainly obtained from sunlight? Which vitamin is mainly obtained from sunlight? A, vitamin C, B, vitamin D. Vitamin D. Okay, is that your last? Okay, all right, you are correct. Question D. Okay, group 2, question 1. Which nutrient is the body's main source of energy? A, carbohydrates, B, vitamins. Carbohydrates. Okay, correct. Can we just encourage them by clapping? Question 1 and 2 are out. Okay, group 3. Okay, which food group helps build and repair body tissues? I want to read again. Which food group helps build and repair body tissues? A, protein, B, fats. Protein, correct. Okay, now to group 1. Your next question. Question 10. Okay, excessive intake of sugary foods can lead to. Did you get the question? Excessive intake of sugary foods can lead to A, improved immunity, B, weight gain. B, weight gain, correct. Okay, group 2. Group 2, you pick question 4. Okay. Eating fruit and vegetables daily helps to A, increase sugar cravings, B, reduce the risk of diseases. Yes. Okay, group 3, your question. Question 7. Okay, question 7 says, which mineral is important for strong bones and teeth? A, sodium, B, calcium. Calcium. Okay, while I was reading that question, actually, I was hearing answer from other people that are not part of the group. Please, let's not do that. Okay, you are correct. Calcium. Okay, group. Question 5. Which type of fat is healthier for the heart? Which type of fat is healthier for the heart? A, unsaturated fats. B, trans fats. You are correct. Unsaturated fats. Okay. Question 6. Drinking enough water daily helps to. Drinking enough water daily helps to A, maintain proper body function. B, cause dehydration. You are correct. Maintain proper body function. Okay. Group 3. Question 27. Which nutrient supports brain function? Which nutrient supports brain function? A, healthy fats. B, artificial sweeteners. Healthy fats. Okay, you are correct. All right. They are simple. Yes. 20. Okay. Question 20. Which meal should not be skipped? Which meal should not be skipped? A, breakfast. B, dinner. Is that your final answer? Okay, you are correct. Okay, group 2. Question 11. Which nutrient helps in wound healing? Which nutrient helps in wound healing? A, protein. B, cholesterol. Okay, it's actually simple. Okay, group 3. Question 60. No, it's 50. 50. Question 50. Last question. Okay. Calcium is classified as a dash. A, mineral. B, carbohydrates. Calcium is classified as a mineral. Okay, you are correct. Those questions are seriously simple. Okay. We are now on round. Okay, 23. Eating slowly helps to A. Increase hunger. B. Prevent overheating. Eating slowly helps to B. Okay. Prevent overeating. You are correct. Question 12. Eating breakfast regularly helps to improve concentration and energy. B. Cause tiredness. A. Improve concentration and energy. Okay.
I think we have to create our own question. To be able to get a winner.
Okay, question 40. Question 40 says, what are considered good carbs? What are considered good carbs? A. Whole grain, which includes oats, brown rice, or wheat, provide energy and fiber. B. Refined white carbs, which involve white rice, semo. What are considered good carbs?
How many options?
Just two options.
Good carbs.
So, A. Whole grains, then B. Refined white carbs. Whole grains, of course. They are so straightforward. Okay. Group. Question 16. Which is a healthy snack option? Which is a healthy snack option? A. Fresh fruits. B. Fried chips. Snack. Healthy snack option. Fresh fruit is the answer. You were you were right. You are right. Okay. Group B. 13. Which food is a good source of dietary fiber? A. Beans. B. Bread. Okay, beans. What if that bread is oats? Oats bread. Okay. All right. Group 3. 35. What helps prevent anemia? What helps prevent anemia? A. Iron rich food. B. White rice. Okay, option A is correct. One number. Okay. We still have a few more to go. Okay, group 1. Question 30. Yes, it has not been picked. Eating a variety of foods helps to A. Reduce nutrient absorption. B. Ensure enough nutrients. Eating a variety of food helps to reduce nutrient absorption, ensure enough nutrients. B. Ensure enough nutrients. Okay, question 14. Which vitamin is important for good eyesight? Which vitamin is important for good eyesight? A. Vitamin A. B. Vitamin B12. Which one? Okay. Just calm down. Which one is the answer? Vitamin A, you're correct. Okay. It's not up to 10. Okay, oh yeah, group 3. 45. Okay. They are correct. Question 45. Okay. Yes, because it is two options actually. And they are so straightforward. Okay, 45. What vitamin do we get from sunlight? What vitamin do we get from sunlight? I think it has been picked. All right. That 47. Which food group does banana belongs to? A. Fruits. B. Grains. Questions that. Okay, you are correct. Of course, who will pick grain?
Let's go.
Okay. Group 1. Question 50, it has been picked. 40, 35. I think 35 has been picked. 45 has been picked, has been answered. 31. Okay. Which of the following is a whole grain? Which of the following is a whole grain? A. White bread. B. Oatmeal. Oatmeal. Okay. Question 20. Which meal should not be skipped? It has been picked. It has been picked. 22. Okay. Which food is rich in iron? Which food is rich in iron? A. Soft drink. B. Spinach. A soft drink that they used to add tomato paste to it. Okay, spinach. Now soft drink or spinach, you are correct. Okay. 43. Oh, 33. Which option makes a healthy snack? It has been picked. Oh, sorry, that has not been picked. Which option makes a healthy snack? A. Nuts. B. Fried puff puff. Nuts.
It's those options that are.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's pick your question. Ah. No, it's 50. Oh. Okay. Okay. Vitamin B12 is mainly found in. Vitamin B12 is mainly found in A. Fruits. B. Meats. Comma dairy. Meat or dairy? So which one? Vitamin B12. Sir? A. Fruits. B. Meat. What's the answer? Fruits. Okay, you were wrong. Meat. Dairy. Okay, actually. Alright, group 2. Oh yeah, group 2. Group 2. 23. 23. It has been answered. It has been answered. 24. Which vitamin helps boost the immune system? Which vitamin helps boost immune system? A. Vitamin C. B. Vitamin K. Are you sure? Vitamin C. Yeah, correct. Okay. Good. 28. Okay. Exercise combined with healthy eating helps to. Exercise combined with healthy eating helps to A. Maintain a healthy weight. B. Cause nutrient deficiency. Maintain a healthy weight. You are correct. Okay. I think this should be the last round. Okay, ma. I trust you. Okay, let's go. Oh, talking about numbers remaining. Okay, we still have 32 remaining. We have 29, 26. We have 20, 21. Sir? 32. Which is not considered a fruit serving? Which of these is not considered a fruit serving? A. Apple. B. Strawberry jam. Yes. Which of these is not considered a fruit serving? A. Yes. Apple. Yes, to serve fruits. A. Apple. B. Strawberry jam. That is not a fruit serving, like to serve fruit. Yes. A. Apple. Okay, strawberry jam, you are correct. All right, group 2. 25. One benefit of a balanced diet is A. Frequent illness. B. Overall health benefits. You did not even listen for the options. Okay, you are correct. 29. The healthiest drink for daily hydration is the healthiest drink for daily. You didn't even allow me to read the option. I will find you. Okay, A, water, B, sugary soda. Yes, ma, we are done.
Listen to questions that has to do with our. And this one, you don't have options. You just be throwing the questions out. Group 1. 3 reasons why sugar is not considered as a healthy option for diet. Mention 3 reasons from the things we have done today. We mentioned several reasons. Please don't project for me. Just give us 3 out of it. You can remind yourself 3 reasons. Then let's see the ones for group 2.
Your time is counting.
Group 2. Mention 3 ingredients in the regular Nigerian seasoning ingredient. You shouldn't have 10 minutes to be thinking about it. Do you have your options? Your answers. What are they?
Speed.
3 ingredients that makes it unhealthy to consume. 3 ingredients that makes it not yet. Can we have it?
Okay, number 1, why sugar is considered unhealthy. Number 1, it's not easily, okay, it's an artificial sweetener. It's not a natural sweetener. Then number 2, it's not easily digested. It takes a longer process. No, it's not part of the options.
So, on sugar, we mentioned 1, 2, 3,
Exact.
5, 6. 6 reasons. So I want you to give us 3 out of it.
The reasons, like
So
the
it's not like
exact.
your own idea about it. You know, those things that we mentioned. This one is just to remind yourself of what you had during
Okay.
that time. Then what you have
Basically,
popular Nigerian.
I should remember one.
So 3, you cannot look at your notes.
But I think I should remember one, that it actually increased the risk of non-communicable diseases, like, or we should mention it one by one.
Just give us 3 that is related to what is on the slide. It's just those headings.
Edges.
6, we gave you 6. So if you mention some and you are able to get the 3, we shall give you some marks. So you are also supposed to give us 3 ingredients on the list of that makes it not healthy for consumption. Okay, so can we have not healthy for
Excess iodized salt, yeah, sugar, and then cornstarch.
Should we give 10? But that's not the end. Give them 10. Are you ready? Are you ready? The time is gone. How can you use 10 minutes to find the answers?
Let me answer.
Okay, group 3. Group 3, group 3. Common examples of UPFs. UPFs are ultra-processed foods. So you are going to give us 3 common examples of UPFs. You know, things that we've mentioned before. We mentioned close to 8 examples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just mention 3 for us. Group 1 is going. Group 1. And you cannot answer. Like they are taking their phone or what? That has passed. You didn't answer. I didn't say it was passed. I only said you should.
Okay, you say going.
But you You have checked your notes.
What do you say?
But the same
What
thing we
did
have
you
said.
say? What did you say?
It is they are refined sugar. That's artificial sweeteners, and they increase the risk of non-communicable diseases.
Not exactly. What's the thought?
And it's not. No. Yes, it's not easily digested.
Like you're checking your notes. Group 3. Group 3, are you checking your notes? Are you sure? Okay. Let's go. We need to conclude this time. Let me go over the 6 reasons why sugar is considered unhealthy. It is highly refined. It spikes blood sugar. It causes obesity and fat accumulation. It leads to heart and liver risk. It causes dental problems. It leads to addiction. So let's just give them out of the man. Not exactly. Okay. Group 2. We got your answer. Group 3. Yes. What's your answer?
Hot dogs, sausages.
So we are talking about UP herbs, right?
Yes.
Common examples.
Bacon, hot dog.
No. You know why that won't go? There are categories listed. Like hot dog is under processed meats. So you can't pick examples of just one and use it as 3. So you have to talk about, processed meats is one of the examples. Then in bracket, we now have hot dogs, and all that. So just mention them the way they were delivered. So common examples of UP herbs. It's only hot dog you can remember.
Refined flour.
Are you not the food scientist? Most of your things are UP herbs now.
Refined flour. Yes.
What else? Actually, it's not in the list. What else?
Canned foods. Canned foods.
So what we have here is sugary breakfast cereals, soft drinks and energy drinks. So carbonated drink a little bit related. Packaged snack foods, instant noodles and boxed meals, fast food burgers, fries, nuggets, candy, chocolate bars, processed meats, sweetened yogurt and flavored milk drinks. So, like they just, what should we mark them? They just got small. 3. Let's give them 3. They just got, or what else did you mention? They said carbonated drink. Let's, well, not exactly. Okay, let's give them 5. You said yours, right? Yes. Okay. 2 more questions.
Okay.
We are starting from group 2. Because group 2 is doing overconfidence now. Part of the short term or terminologies that was used, has to do with T1D. What is T1D? Okay. So one for you. Group 1. UP herbs. How to identify UP herbs?
How to identify UPS for?
Ultra processed foods. Can you mention one of the things identified as a way you can identify UP herbs? Just give us one.
Using whole wheat as an example.
Don't use whole wheat as an example. You have entered a supermarket. How do you identify a product that is UP herb?
Okay, number of ingredients. If the number is more than 10, Yes.
Yes, and she also said that the longer you can stay on the shelf.
Okay. Group 3. We listed natural food provisions under different categories. Leafy green, root vegetables, tubers, and all that. There's a category that is called alliums. Can you mention one of the vegetables under alliums?
Onion.
Okay. So, have you done yours? This second round? Yeah. So, maybe the last round. Group 2. What are we doing? Group 2. Give us an example of, still under natural food provisions, give us an example of vegetables or fruits and all that categorized as flower buds.
Hibiscus. Is that hibiscus? Hibiscus flower. Dandelion bud is also there.
Like you're a genius. Yeah. So there's nothing else you can do for them. So no, I'm not giving you yours. And I'm not giving you yours. So group 1. Group 1, we have a category that is called back. Can you give us an example? Yes.
Back.
Yes. Back.
Back.
Okay. Cinnamon.
Back, yes.
It's correct.
And now?
Okay, are we going? What's the example?
Cinnamon, ma.
Cinnamon. Who mentioned that? So we are left with group 3, right? Group 3. Group 3, give us an example of root vegetables. That's simple now. Root vegetables.
Sorry,
Root vegetables.
carrots, man.
So,
Carrot.
let's have the who is working on his daughter for us. Let's
No stress.
Oh, I wish you did something in this group. Yeah, so overconfident. Okay, so who is giving us the summary and the outcome, the winner? Please, we need to. Let's find a way to. He's ready. The presentation will come after the workshop. We need to package.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Agbaje. Can we put our hands together for all the participants? Okay. Group 1 has a total mark of 115. Group 2, a total mark of 130. And Group 3, a total mark of 125.
115,
130,
130,
125.
Who had 115?
Group 1,
Group 1, then group 2.
130.
You have group 2. Yes. 130.
Yes.
One of them.
125.
125, 130.
Yes. So we have the
115,
Group 2.
125, 130. Okay. That's good. Can we? And so, who is the winner?
So the first is Group 2. Then Group 3 is the second. and we have group 1 as the third.
We are gradually coming to the end of today's workshop. Yes, ma'am. And we are greeting all our online audience also. Thank you for connecting and thank you for staying through. We're almost done.
Okay. Whatsoever has a beginning surely has. Yeah. Whatsoever has a beginning surely has an end. So, we'll be wrapping up this workshop this way, and I know it has been a very beautiful one, isn't it? So, we're going to be wrapping up by we're going to also be giving gifts. Yes, we'll be giving gifts, but we'll have to wrap up right away. So can we just give thanks to God, for this workshop? We started with an opening prayer, and I think we should end with a closing prayer. Lord, we say thank you. Thank you for how you've helped us in this workshop. Thank you for so much insight to healthy living. We exalt your name. We give you praise. Thank you for the energy, the strength you've given to our hosts, and thank you for the strength you've given to us to also listen and receive these things. We say, blessed be your name. In Jesus' mighty name we've prayed. All right, thank you everyone that participated in this workshop. Thank you for actively participating. Thank you for learning. And I really believe that the call to actions, the 3, we've noted them. The things we want to change, the things we want to... I've written like a long list. And I'm sure that as I keep building that list, the list will keep, increasing. I've seen things that I need to really work on. Though I'm not new to this, but there were so many new things that came up, today. So this is a workshop that we should attend regularly. And I know for our host too, she encountered some new things during the preparation, the trainings, and also I really encourage us, when we see trainings like this, workshops like this, we'll definitely reach out to you to participate in things like this. But whenever we see things like this, let's not hesitate to join, to come and to join this workshop. So I want to say a very big thank you once again. Can you put a round of applause? Give yourself a round of applause. All right, thank you very much. So at this juncture, we'll be calling it a day. Thank you very much. Okay, so very, 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 very importantly, we really want to appreciate everyone that has joined online. Yes, we can see your comments, your gestures, everything that you've done, and then for waiting this long, we really want to appreciate you. I want you to give a thumbs up to yourself over there, for really investing in your health. It is worth investing in. One of the workshops we had, I think the last workshop we had, the invited guest actually gave us an advice. He said, eat your food as medicine and not medicine as food. Don't be one of those that will go to the hospital and then they will tell you the doctors are on strike, we can't attend to you, and then you go sorrowfully. You can actually do without going to the hospital by just eating healthy. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. All right, so let's call it a day. Thank you very much.